Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Yeah, this is gonna have to do for now.
But if you want to kill your camera, you can. I don't think that's great for the audience necessarily. Look at my stupid face, but
here's the fun thing about that, Dave.
Yeah.
Is if I were to turn my camera off,
yeah,
then the audience on YouTube wouldn't be able to hear anything from this room. They would only hear you.
They wouldn't be able to. If you turn your camera off, they couldn't hear you.
No.
Dude, our stuff is weird, man. Our stuff is so weird. If we turn Chris's camera off, they can't hear him.
Well, I could put like my here. I could do this real quick. Oh no, that's not it.
Nope, that didn't work. No camera. Oh,
Nope,
there's
nope,
you. Nope, not that one. Okay, there's us. I like that. That's actually great. And then just put a
actually,
logo.
I think I would go here. Here.
Yeah. There.
Hopefully they can still hear me. Yeah. But then you're off center.
Can you stretch it anymore? Or is that the most it'll stretch?
This is the best we could do.
Okay. I like that. Honestly, I really do. If we could find something cool to put in the middle, I do kind of like you and I being little on the left. Sorry for everybody using audio only. Whoa. But now wait.
Okay. Can YouTube hear me? Hopefully
all right. YouTube, check in. See if they can hear Chris. Just all we need is a yes, I can hear Chris to pop up. That's it. Although then it's just me on the screen.
Yeah, okay, so yeah.
Go ahead.
I think they can because it shows that I'm still on, so we should be good.
Well, hold on. Let me see this. Hold on. I can do something. Oh, what? There's an ant on my what? Yo, something was just crawling on my neck. Here, let's see. Let me unmute this. This will be awesome. Wait, let me go back here. Oh, come on. All right. All right, here we go. Hold on. Okay, now we'll. Yes. Okay.
So
I checked it myself.
Okay, so we're good.
We're good.
All right.
So yeah, I know you love this.
Yes. Take a real load off now.
Now you can just sit back there and you can play cards. And honestly, I like this. I mean, I don't like not being able to see you. You know, I get that, but I like the fact that like this is stretched out more. So I'm not, like, hey, everybody, welcome in. How was your evening, Chris? Give me some. What you left the station? What happened? Anything interesting?
No, nothing fun. Worked out, watched the basketball game.
Oh, went and worked out. Oh, we
Yeah.
get it. You hit the gym.
Watched an episode of Dark Side of the Ring. And that was
Don't know
about
what
it.
that is. What's Dark Side of the Ring?
It's like stories from wrestling that are like that you haven't heard about. The last one is their season finale. It was about an Italian American who in 2004 became like they were having him like a fundamentalist Muslim heel wrestler. and basically how it was like, oh yeah, this is really edgy and playing on the edge, and then they took it way too far and everyone got mad at them.
Interesting. So like there's got to be a list of old school wrestlers, like they have those Bugs Bunny cartoons that are outlawed, especially for their depiction of Asians circa World War II. I got to imagine there's a pretty decent list of wrestlers that wouldn't do today what they did back then.
Yeah, and like they didn't make like any money back then. Like they made like a lot of money real fast, but for most of the time, nothing.
But I mean, like culture wise, like does Iron Sheik work today?
It depends.
I mean,
like not as he is now, not like he's from Iran, so he's a bad guy type of thing. I don't think that works anymore.
Am I making this up in my head, but do I not have a memory of whether it was him or a tag team or something of I say Arabic looking because sometimes they'll, it's like they'll take the white guy and call him Irish John Smith and he's from, Maine. But why do I have a memory of like an Arabic guy or Arabic guys in a tag team and their whole theme was like they were going to bomb things and they were terrorists and stuff like that? Am I making that up, or is that something the WWE did once upon a time?
I don't remember. So
what? It's not your history, it's their history.
So Sergeant Slaughter, he was American. During the first Iraq War, he sided with Saddam Hussein, and he chose to back the Iraqis. And Iron Sheik came in. I can't remember his name, but they said that he was also Iraqi, and he took on Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. But the big thing was going to be WrestleMania, and they thought it was going to be so big that they got the Olympic Stadium in LA. They were expecting 100,000 people. Yeah. People hated the angle so much they were only able to get like 10,000 people at the Olympic Auditorium.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah,
because we were at war.
I can't imagine why they'd have an issue with that. Well, yeah, I mean, look, things have changed. And I mean, look, wrestling's whole thing was be controversial. I mean, there was didn't Toby Keith have a song about like bombing people back to wherever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I've been watching some old Saturday Night Lives, and it's about like the 2003, 2004 things. And it's like Jimmy Fallon saying like, hey, let's lock these people up and like not give them anything. Like, who cares? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Well, you're familiar with the very famous Chevy Chase, Richard Pryor SNL skit?
I am.
Okay. Does that work today?
No.
Yeah. Right. Even though back then, I actually think that was pretty ballsy, and not in like a ballsy bad way. I think they were trying to make a statement, but yeah, I don't think that flies today. It's interesting. Hey, good morning, everybody. Before we get to the show itself, I am curious. So you went to the gym yesterday, and I'm not saying this is you, but like I've done the gym thing before. It's a whole thing because you go, okay, well, I'm going to run you through some questions, Chris. When you go to the gym, and is this one of those, you don't have to say where, but like, is this one of those gyms that's like a known gym, like a known brand, or is it like Freddie's gym on the corner? Okay.
I'll just say it's Planet Fitness.
Okay. Planet Fitness.
So I'll break it out. Like, I'm not doing like, all I do is go on the bike because I told you I've been doing boxing training with my cousin.
Yep.
So I do that 3 times a week. And then for 2 times a week, I just go on the bike just to do cardio.
So you go to the gym and you are on the bike?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have access to a truck?
No.
Oh. Well, I was going to say to you, if you wanted, well, how much is your gym membership a month?
$10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have a tonal at home. workout system, whatever, which is awesome. And then I have this Nordic Track bike, which is it's a Peloton basically. It's one of those bikes where you get on it and it's got like a fan that can blow in your face, and it's got these dumbbells on there because there's certain things that you do with the dumbbells, and then but then it's got this big video screen in front of you, so you can either like, oh, I want to take this biking course in Austria today, and then you're biking behind some girl or guy that's like, hey, welcome to Austria. All right, we're gonna do, and then the bike, if you go uphill, it makes it seem uphill. If you go down, you get the point, right? Or they have like live classes that you can take, where you're biking along with everybody and all the high scores are up or all that. So you get the general consensus, right? So you buy the bike, and then the membership to keep it going or whatever is basically like $50 a month, right? Honestly, I don't think anybody in my family's been on this bike for over a year. It's in the garage next to all the work in the workout area, but nobody has touched it. It's basically a $50 a month clothes hanger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. And like, I should just cancel the thing, but it's like one of those things where if you can't, that is how gyms stay in business. It's such a great psychology ploy, because for me to cancel the membership means I'm now committing to not getting on the bike. So I'm just going to be a fat slob, and my ego won't let me do that. So instead I pay $50 a month for my ego. I was going to say to you, hey, if you wanted to pay the monthly, you can borrow the bike indefinitely until we want it back if you came and got it. But really nice bike, hardly used. But yeah, that's like 5 times your gym membership.
Yeah, $10 is pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah, it's really cool. So you don't go now. Do you go there in what you wear and then go home in what you wear? Or do you do the whole like go there, get in your gym clothes, go on the bike?
I won't tell which one I'm at, but the bathroom there is super gross. So
is it really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I went through I went through this phase at the gym in my mid-20s where like it was just a whole thing. Like I would go, I get in my gym clothes there, put my stuff in the locker, and then like I go do my workout and had no idea what I was doing. Just no idea what I was doing, right? I go lift the weights a little bit, and then I do the leg curls. So, they have like, today's back day, today's arms day, no. And my thing was like, I'll just go to all the different things. And I know you're supposed to do sets. So I'll do sets. I'll do however many reps until I'm too tired, and then I'll rest for a minute, and then I'll do another set. Like I had no idea what I was doing whatsoever, but I do it for like an hour and a half. And then when I get done, I'd go in the steam room and I'd steam room for a bit, and then I'd go in the spa, and then I'd steam room, shower, because that's gross to get in with your sweat. Then like spa, pool. I'd be there for like 3.5 hours. It was like a whole like day camp, but I don't think I got anything out of it other than it was something to do for 4 hours. That's not how you should do things, but I do kind of miss it. I have my little headphones in. Do you listen to music?
I watch wrestling on my phone.
I mean, I guess if it gets you to forget about being on the bike, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's kind of the whole point, is do something that makes you forget. Golly, I'm almost thinking there's something wrong with YouTube. Our chat, Russell said something. It is dead. I mean, there's people watching. We have like a chat issue or something. That's almost scary. By now, if people are arguing with people, they're back and forth. Chris has said something stupid. Chris Guerrero. Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov were the originals. Russia #1, Iran #1, and then he would spit on the U.S. That sounds right. All right, we got a show for you today. Jason's on vacation. Jason is on vacation. Hey, I'll read a text. Here we go. A lot of wrestling stuff, and then one guy says, I would take this talk any day over Dave crying about Tyrese Halliburton. Well, now the whole show is going to be about Tyrese Halliburton because you ruined it.
Why'd you do that?
Right? Day 2, I didn't even have it planned. Now the whole show we're going until 10 a.m. The whole show is going to be about Tyrese Halliburton. Also, I was scrolling down. I know we got a break here, but I saw a text. It said something about it was about the afternoon guys. My guys in the afternoons. I won't read the whole thing because some of it's kind of mean to them, but it says basically, why are you guys always pocket watching Carmichael Dave when he's the guy on the station that tells it how it is about the Kings? Something like that. They were taking a shot. First up, what is pocket watching?
That's when you're looking at how much money someone else makes. Like, oh, that guy brings in a car.
So the implication there is they're talking about my money or something. That's weird. Funny how the drive guys constantly make fun of and pocket watch Carmichael Dave, who's the only person with the balls to speak the truth about the Kings, while you guys spend 95% of your shows gaslighting the fans for being doomers and negative. Pretty ironic, honestly. I'm here for it. I just grab my popcorn and listen to the insanity. Hey, I want to know what they said. Somebody send me the clip. Let's have a you know what? It's summertime, Chris. You're manager at the station. What do you think? We have a good old fashioned cross show fight where afternoons go after mornings and mornings go after afternoons, and then we argue and we take shots at each other, and then everybody tunes into each show to see what the next guy's going to say about the other guy. And then it all culminates with like a giant on-air fight that everybody listens to. It'd be a good stunt. Would you be okay with that as management?
How is that different from what every day is like?
Do we snipe at anyone? No, I'm asking honestly. We don't really, I mean, no, we don't. As a rule, we get sniped at a lot by, here and elsewhere, but I don't really get down with the whole, here's my thing, and then we'll take a break. Here's my rule. I learned this from a guy named Don Geronimo. When he came to Sacramento, the first thing he did is he looked at the top 5 rated shows in his time slot, and he started listening to them, and then he started calling them all out on the air and yelling at them, and trying to draw them into fights. And then their listeners, it would get back to them. Then they go to the hosts. Then the hosts would stupidly bite, and they'd play the clip, and then they'd say something terrible about Don. Well, what they were doing is they were then sending their listeners over to Don's show to see what Don would say about the other show. And the next thing you know, Don passes them in the ratings. So my rule is this. I don't like radio wars because I just think they're dumb and egotistical and everybody sounds stupid. Number one. Number two, I don't get in radio wars with any shows, whether they're on this station or at any other station whose ratings are beneath us, because it does nothing for us. And number three, I like White and Kyle. I don't want to fight with them, Chris. I like them. I don't know why they don't like me. Well, I can think of a lot of reasons, but I like them. We just want peace here on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Plus, I don't want to add Jason into any of this. We got a big, giant show for you today. Thank goodness gracious, everybody. We're so happy you are here, and we hope you stay here till 10 a.m. Sam Amick is going to join us at 8 a.m. Hey, did I get the time right with Kelly? I did that all by myself. 7:28 for Kelly Brothers?
Yes.
Very, very good. So we got Kelly at 7:28. We'll go a little long with Kelly if he's got the time just for funsies, because no Jason need to fill time here and love talking to Kelly. Sam Amick at 8 a.m. But when we come back, as we broke the news on this very show days ago, Oklahoma City is in the finals. We now have half of our finals participants, and local baseball stinks, but we'll still mention it. Leading it all off next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6814. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6814. 800-575-6814. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
124-94 the final, a 30-point rout. Not a single day went by this season that Oklahoma City did not hold the best record in the West. And now this historic, relentless thunderstorm has unstoppably, emphatically, and officially earned the moniker best in the West. MVP, SGA, and company say we will OKC you in the NBA Finals, baby. Blowing the Wolves out of the building, 124-94 in Game 5.
We will OKC you. You know what? I'm here for it. I will accept that. We will OKC you in the finals. The Thunder. Well, look, this game was over when it started. 26-9 going into the second quarter. That was the Thunder coming out saying, I think we're just gonna punch you right in the mouth. None of this screwing around stuff. None of this close game stuff. My goodness, they were up 17 after 1. They were up 33, I think, after 2. 65-31. Ugh. And then, the second half was basically whatever. That was a trouncing. That was an emphatic, this is what's happening performance. Rudy Gobert, just 19 minutes and 2 points, did absolutely nothing. 1 for 1. Took one shot. Not that that's his job, but out of the starters for the Timberwolves, this is terrible. 43 out of the 50 points that the starters scored were Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. Just nothing else. Meanwhile, a balanced attack from the Thunder, shockingly led by MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 34, Jalen Williams 19, Chet Holmgren 22, and the juggernaut that is the Oklahoma City Thunder, the juggernaut that they are, beating the Grizzlies in 4 straight. Great series with the Nuggets. 12 wins in the postseason, which means in an 82-game regular season, the Oklahoma City Thunder now have 80 games. I honestly wonder how many teams in NBA history have won, including playoffs, have won more games than the actual, regular season. I mean, obviously, the Warriors did at least once. The Bulls did, definitely. I'll bet you it's somewhere. It's definitely below 10. But they still got work to do. Here's the thing, man. If the Thunder go to the NBA Finals and don't win it at this point, it's going to be a lot of questions for Oklahoma City. Well, they're a great team till you get to the final. You can't win. It's nothing if you don't win a championship. Remember we were talking yesterday about Michael Jordan having 6 rings but being in the league 19 years or whatever it was, meaning that 13 of those years he didn't win one. His second place doesn't matter, apparently. So with OKC, if they lose in the finals, I don't know. They say rebuilds work. Well, who's won? With Oklahoma City's great rebuild, how many rings have they gotten? That'll be the thing.
And if they win in 5, it's going to be, this is a dynasty in the making. You're going to see this team for a long, long time.
Oh, that I believe you just pretty much said the headline in The Athletic today of one of the articles I saw. They're already calling it a dynasty. They're already saying this is a dynasty in the making. It's just a matter of health. I understand why people are saying it, especially if they win. They're the youngest team in the NBA. I've been saying they're the second youngest behind the Hawks. They are the youngest team. That was to start the season. They're the youngest team in the NBA. And we'll talk more about it later. It's kind of like the thing. You got to pick your poison with this show. You're either going to get Tyrese Halliburton and the Kings suck, or you're going to get me slobbering all over Oklahoma City. I think today's going to be slobber over Oklahoma City day. Tomorrow will be Halliburton if the Pacers win, because they play tonight against the Knicks. Bottom line is Oklahoma City is in the finals. I am actually curious. I'm going to call today. I'm going to call my old buddy Dave Softy Mahler from KJR in Seattle, because I do think.
Wow, I really want to dig into him, huh?
Well, no, I do truly want to ask somebody, Softy's like my counterpart up there, and he's just loud and boisterous, and he's a diehard fan. And I honestly wonder if they're still like, is this bringing back old memories for them? Is this, like, look, we think it's bad watching Tyrese Halliburton play for the Pacers. How about this? How about watching your entire franchise playing in the finals and maybe winning a championship that used to be there? Like, if Sacramento had moved to Seattle, would we be sitting here? And this is actually an interesting topic I think I just came up with we're going to cover today. It's been 13 years since the Kings would have moved. If instead of the Thunder being in the finals, it was the Sonics, formerly the Kings, with none of the same players on it, would we be feeling some sort of a way? Because it's been longer for Seattle.
Absolutely not.
You don't think it wouldn't bother us whether it was the Thunder or?
I think a lot of people in Sacramento, as soon as the Kings left, would be done with the NBA.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Gleyber Torres fields at the letters. He flips on to first, and that'll do it. The Tigers with a 4-3 win as they sweep the San Francisco Giants.
We got to be quick here. We're going to get to more of this and safer out here at 6:44. I will say this Tigers series and some of the Giants games lately, a lot of this year I've been saying, what I love most about this team, win or lose, is they don't look like last year's team. They're not boring. They're not lifeless. They're not dull. Even in a loss, it's exciting for the most part, blah, blah, blah. This Detroit series, this is last year's team. This is exactly how last year's team was. You just, not only do you lose a bunch, but 4-3, 3-1, 3-1, 3-0. Like that's their last 4 losses. They're not giving up a ton of runs, but they can't score. Now they're playing the Marlins next. And it'll be very interesting to see how that works out, because they need to do something. Because right now the Giants are they've lost 4 or 5. They need to get back on track. They're not the only one in Northern California sucking, though. Number 3.
Cut number 3.
Hader delivers. Swing and a miss. Struck it out on the slider, and that is the ball game. The Houston Astros take both games from the A's, winning this afternoon 5-3.
Okay. We are officially the definition of free fall are the Athletics. They are fully, it's not a losing streak. It's not a bad stretch. They are officially in an absolute free fall. Why do I say that? Here's my rule. When you're in the middle of a stretch where you go 3 of 17, they are 3-17 in their last 20 games since beating Seattle May 6th. 3-17, guys. That is an absolute free fall. Something's got to happen. They're going to Toronto next. They got 4 there. Then they come home and they play red hot Minnesota for 4 before they get to Baltimore. Look, if this was any other team, and we'll take a break right now. If this was any other team, we would be on full blast Mark Kotsay job watch. The only reason why we are not on full blast Mark Kotsay job watch is because this isn't a normal team. It's the John Fisher owned A's, and there's every good chance in the world he just doesn't want to fire Mark Kotsay because he doesn't want to pay another manager. So normally that's where we'd be at. I don't know how to cover this team because it's not a real major league franchise. We'll take a break though. When we return, Oklahoma City is in the finals. Chris Verlade has audio for you as he's going to take you all the way through last night's finale of the Western Conference Finals. We'll do that all next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Just occurred to me, just at a camera view, I have my normal 2 bags of Huddersfield Town gear I'm bringing back that I have to, instead of bringing a duffel bag with me every time, which I should do because I bring everything else, I buy a duffel bag and then bring it home and throw it in a pile with 700 other duffel bags I own. But I don't have room to bring this back, so I have to bring a carry-on filled with gear. I think I'm going to model. I think starting maybe next break, I'll start showing up in a different piece of gear. There's actually some really good gear. They do a great job on their stuff this year. Chris, you never told me what you wanted. Did you want anything?
I said, bring us back some interesting Pringles.
Oh yes, if I have Pringles, or you mean chips in
or
general?
Chips in general.
Yeah, if I will try to make room, because what I don't want to do is I don't want it to where I bring back sand that was formerly a chip or a crisp, as they call it over there. The Minnesota Timberwolves, watch this segue. Their title chances burnt to a crisp last night as the Oklahoma City Thunder just throttled them. I expect, much like in Game 3, Chris, there are very few Minnesota Timberwolf highlights, just like there was only one Oklahoma City Thunder highlight. I imagine we're going to get started off with the Thunder doing something fun.
Oh, you're right there. Chet Holmgren with the jam.
Ooh. Outside rebound, tip by Hartenstein, claimed by SGA. Thunder seek their first lead of game. 5 long lead, Holmgren to the rim. Dunks with right hand. Oh, what a long lead by SGA for the send down. A sinister slam by Chet.
Okay. Sinister slam by Chet Holmgren. Then what happened? Chris.
SGA, he wanted to get into the party with the 3.
Shea left wing, guarded by Randall, pulls up, pops. He wants 3. Give it to him. Cha-ching, Thunder money ball. Shea says, this is my house.
Cha-chinga Thunder buddy ball. We're getting used to this now. So is that on an alley-oop?
I think that's a 3.
Oh, is that 3?
Yeah.
Would you play that again, please? We want to get this right.
Hold on 1 second.
Sorry.
Shea left wing, guarded by Randall, pulls up, pops. He wants 3. Give it to him. Cha-ching, Thunder money ball. Shea says, this is my house.
Cha-chinga Thunder money ball?
Oh, it's not Thunder buddy ball?
Maybe that's for the
alley-oop. Okay, so Cha-chinga is, I think, a 3. Thunder money ball might be Cha-chinga Thunder money ball for a 3, and then Cha-chinga Thunder buddy ball for an alley-oop. J. Will is the other Jalen Williams, and J. Dub is the good Jalen Williams. You know what we need to do next week? Let's see if we can't get our friend who's doing that. He's going to be busy, but if we can get the OKC play-by-play voice on to help us out, I would love to showcase that. I think he does a great job. All right, so all that's going down. But then what happened?
Wallace, he beat the buzzer in the first quarter with a 3.
3 seconds. Crosses over. Lifts the right corner, Wallace. Catch and shoot rainbow 3 is on the way. Cha-ching! A Thunder money ball at the buzzer. Oh, baby! What a setup by SGA for his 5th assist.
What? Okay, so we got the cha-ching.
Yeah, Cha-chinga Thunder money ball.
For the 3.
Yes.
3 seconds. Crosses over. Lifts the right corner, Wallace. Catch and shoot rainbow 3 is on the way. Cha-ching! A Thunder money ball at the buzzer. Oh, baby! What a setup by SGA for his 5th assist.
A Thunder, okay. The Thunder money ball at the buzzer, ooh-wee, or whatever he said. Okay, I got it now. Cha-chinga Thunder money ball at the buzzer. Ooh-wee. I'm here for it. I guarantee you OKC fans love this. But then what happened after that, Chris?
Well, in the second quarter, J. Will or Bubba Dubba got it started with a 2.
Jalen, 3-on-2. Down the lane on Shannon. Sidesteps him, comes to the rim. Scores, and he's hacked in the act. OKC booming at the feet of the Wolves to a 36-14 lead. 9:04 left in the second. The Wolves are running for cover, baby, and call another timeout.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
I really like hack at the act.
I'm with you. I love, we have to find out who this is. Jason would know. I'll let me Google this. All right. So while I'm Googling that, then what happened?
SGA drove to the layup in the third quarter. It's still getting it going in the second half.
Barreling left baseline on McDaniel. Spins up and in. A right-hand reverse. Well, here's the man of the season as MVP in the NBA. He's the man of the moment tonight in big game 5 with 22 in 20 minutes.
Knew who this was. It's Matt Pinto. It's Danny's brother. We should have known that. Matt Pinto, voice of the Oklahoma City Thunder on the radio. All right, so Thunder building it up. There's no what quarter are we going to, Chris, to put the Wolves out of their misery here?
Well, the Wolves, I think, were put out of their misery in the first quarter, but here's Lou Dort with a 3 in the third.
SGA working the dribble, back of a Caruso pick, shuttling right, whips it inside to Alex, corner right Dort, tees up a 3 that's online and in there. Cha-ching Thunder money ball. Lou strokes home the tray, making the Wolves zone pay.
Okay, the only way that could be better is if those got sponsored. So it's like the Cha-chinga Thunder money ball brought to you by, unless there's like a Cha-chinga casino or something around there.
Ooh, isn't that like one of those like mobile things? Like, because I've heard like commercials on podcasts. There's like Cha-chinga, come and check out Cha-chinga.
That now, if that's a sponsor, I have even more respect because now you're mixing in the sponsor with the call, and you're doing it very seamlessly. All right, I'm looking up. I have terrible reception here. I'm looking up Cha-chinga. It's a great word. All right, finally, because I know we got a break here. How'd this thing wrap up there, Christopher?
SGA, the MVP, he got an and one.
Down the lane, floats a runner, counts it, it goes, and it moves. Gilgeous-Alexander weaving through a minefield of Minnesota defenders. It didn't matter. He gets to the stripe for the fourth time in Game 5. 33 points in 33 minutes.
Okay. Chichinga can be used as a nickname, often shortened from chichita, which can mean maid or housemaid in Spanish. Chichinga might also be a sound effect, possibly relating to the sound of money being made or collected, like ka-ching, which I think that's what we're doing here. In summary, chichinga is likely a nickname or slang term that can refer to a variety of things. Okay. I think that's where we're at. So little Spanish in there. Shout out finally before we go to break. Shout out to our guy Mark, who I've seen him do this on, I think, on other shows too. He just posts out of nowhere, right? No context. LaMelo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Miles Bridges, DeMontis Sabonis, Davion Mitchell, Dyson Daniels, Jake LaRavia, Bobby Portis, Jonathan Isaac, Devin Carter, and Jamarian Sharp. I'm dying to know what that. There's no context. What is this? This has got my curiosity. He posted this 7 minutes ago, and I said, "What is this about? Could that be what he thinks the roster should be next year? Because I noticed there's a few Kings on there. Mark, if you're listening, and I hope you're not just posting and leaving, I really want to know from the 209. This guy makes my brain hurt. How dare you? We're Oklahoma City Thunder fans here right now. This is an Oklahoma City.
Knicks lose tonight.
You what?
Especially if the Knicks lose tonight.
Yeah, right. This is an Oklahoma City Thunder town now. That's what we're doing. We're taking over. Thunder up, baby. This is an Oklahoma City Thunder hive. We'll take a break. When we return, safer out, Giants, A's, and what the HE double hockey sticks is going on in the NL West. We'll talk about it next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This summer, make every pitch count with the Sacramento River Cats Cats Pass. For just $59, enjoy 18 River Cats home games with access to the Sky River Casino Solon Club, featuring some of the finest ballpark and skyline views. Soak in summer nights at Sutter Health Park, all at unbeatable value. Whether you're a lifelong fan or just love a night at the ballpark, the Cats Pass is your ticket to summer. Join the Sacramento River Cats all season long. Secure your Cats Pass today at rivercats.com.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this? half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split into groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs at set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe 1 shot with a driver, 1 with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings.
It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, a couple things here. So we get cameras back in a second. Eric on the chat, thank you. He said, I saw a post that said only 3 teams have won 80 games in a year with playoffs, 2 for the Bulls. Golden State was the other. That sounds right. Okay, so we were saying earlier the Thunder are on the verge of doing that. And then do you have that call I asked you for ready? Would you mind? Okay, go ahead and run that real quick, please.
Shea left wing, guarded by Randall, pulls up, pops. He wants 3. Give it to him. Cha-ching, the Thunder money ball. Shea says, this is my house.
All right, thanks to V Hill on the chat. That makes more sense. It's cha-ching, comma, a Thunder money ball. Not cha-chinga. It's cha-ching, a Thunder money ball. But he says it so fast, it sounds like cha-chinga Thunder money ball, which I'm not entirely sure isn't better, because for some reason that reminds me, it's giving me the movie Ted vibes. Maybe that's because it's Thunder Buddies. Cha-chinga Thunder money ball. All right. You know what? That's why we work as a team, guys. That's why we ask questions and you give answers, much like we will do right now with Safe or Out. Question 1, Chris.
Do the Giants need to make a trade soon?
Yeah, I don't know if they can wait for the deadline. I don't know. There is the thought that, you know what they could use? They could use a bat, and they need a bat. But that bat may be their shortstop. I don't know what you do about Willy Adames. That's your huge free agent signing. And he's batting 208. He's batting 208, dude. That is not good. Now, he's never been a big average guy, but he had 32 jacks and 112 RBI this year. He has 5 and 25 this year. His last 3 years, he's had 32, 24, and 31 home runs and 98, 80, and 112 RBI. He had 21 stolen bases last year, too. I mean, at shortstop, he's just a stud. His WAR, wins above replacement last year, 3.1. He's minus 0.3 this year. That may be it may just be that simple that, hey, it's got to be Willy Adames. Not that he's the only problem. They need other people to wake up or to figure their lives out. I don't know what the hell is going on with Lamont Wade Jr. I don't know. But 171? Are you serious? Not great, dude. So they're at a point right now where their pitching staff, especially hopefully Verlander comes back from that pec issue. The bullpen is maybe the best in baseball. They're fine. You can always use another arm, but that's not their problem. Their problem is They're not hitting, dude. They are not hitting. And something's got to give. I mean, I'm looking at averages of 224 for Matt Chapman. And again, averages and everything, but 224 for Chapman, 208 for Adames, 171 for Wade, 174 for Patrick Bailey, 147 for Luis Matos. Bro, you got to do something, man, because I'm good with Jung-Hoo Lee, and I'm good with Elliot Ramos, and I'm good with Wilmer Flores. And I think Chapman will come back, and Yaz will do whatever Yaz does every year. That's fine. But you need another bat. Otherwise, in that division, they're going to be way too far gone. You can't afford to go on a long streak of bad here. Question 2, please.
Should the A's be sellers or buyers at the deadline?
Honestly, I thought buyers. I'm really disappointed. And somebody pointed out yesterday, and it is true, especially at home. They have played a rough schedule at home. But the schedule's the schedule, man. They're in a full-on free fall right now, and they need to do something. Now, I expect with them trying to get ready to peak as they get to Vegas, I expect that they will be sellers. Maybe get some guys back that'll start showing dividends next year or the year after, which may be their final year here before Vegas. I would say sellers, unless they turn it around real quick. You got another month and a half, or a little over a month before the deadline. But they better turn it around real quick, or they will be selling. It ain't working right now. And at some point, you got to wait, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Number 3, please.
The NL West have lost a combined 12 straight. Would you still consider them the best division in the league?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I do, because you have the Dodgers and the Padres at the top, both capable of winning a World Series, certainly capable of coming out of the NL. You've got the Giants, who, despite getting swept by the Tigers, they're just 3 back in the loss column of first place. They're 3 back overall. They're 1 game back of the Padres. And then you have the Diamondbacks that are 2 games under. The problem is the Rockies are 9-47. They're a AAA team. They're not even the NL Central. Every team's under 500, but the bottom 2, and the Reds are 28-29. I mean, all the NL divisions are fairly stacked. The A's are 23-33. They're in last place in the West. That's not horrific. Everybody's right now, though. I mean, I'm just going through everything, guys. Right now, it's the AL Central. That is the best division in the game. And they've got the White Sox, but the White Sox are 18-38. White Sox are 9 games ahead of the Rockies. Every other team in that division is above 500, including the best team in baseball right now, the Tigers, at 37-20. And then you basically got a 3-way tie with the Guardians, Twins, and Royals, all who have 30 wins, all who have really good teams. The Royals especially impress me. You know what else impresses me, too? They still got Salvador Perez making it happen. Old Sally Perez, who was on their last championship team. And here he is. He's still out there. I mean, he's batting .222, but 35 years old, still getting in the squat every day. Yeah, NL West is an issue right now. They're all on different forms of losing streaks. Let's see. Here's everybody. The afternoon show was talking about Dave yesterday. Uh-oh. Radio fight. Yeah, what were they saying? Let me know. What were they saying? I think our big boss is listening right now. Boss, what do you think? If they were talking garbage, what do you think? Radio Wars. Wait, Radio Wars, afternoons versus mornings. Which, let's be honest, would really be like Kyle and half of Whitey versus me. Jason's not getting involved. And Jay's my guy. From Tom on the chat, do I have a baseball mitt? Come on. Doesn't every good model American have a baseball mitt? Of course I got a baseball mitt. When I go to a game, I bring my mitt. That's what you're supposed to do. Take a break. At the end of the show yesterday, we got the news that the Sacramento Kings will not be appearing in the tournament they started, the California Classic. As a matter of fact, there will be 2 teams in the California Classic that are not from California. So I did talk to some people that know things after the show. And I got some news for you and some questions for you as well at 1-800-920-1140. We'll step aside. We'll come back with that and more. Don't forget Kelly Brothers and Sam Amick coming up later on in the program. So hour number 2 starts next.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com.
At Napa, we are the pros that know AC services inside and out. From professional-grade replacement parts to complete system solutions, Napa has what your business needs to keep your customers cool mile after mile. Need AC repair kits and refrigerant? How about compressors and condensers? Name the part, Napa has you covered coast to coast, behind a nationwide network built to keep your business ahead of the curve. Find your AC parts right now at Napa.
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with punk legends The Damned at Ace of Spades May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by jam-packed June 21st. Tainted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Thunder Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo, July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center, July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat. Only with Sacktown Sports.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Memorial Day savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock. And Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area. $12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Plus 2021 remaining. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
KMHD KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
I think our boss is in favor of Sacktown Sports Wars. Mornings versus afternoons. Let's go. Oh, yeah, well, you said that, and that's stupid. Chris, remember when I said that one thing? God, how long ago it was about what Whitey and Kyle said about the Kings?
Do I remember what you said?
Yeah, it's because I never said it.
Oh.
Remember that one time I brought them up on the show?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. Also, I think we might have solved a mystery during the break. You know, one thing you ever wonder, like, you know, our guy Isaiah Thomas, what happened? He went from borderline all-star to like he couldn't get in the league. He got a couple of cups of coffee with a couple of teams, 10-day contracts here and there, and then like they let him go. And it's always been kind of weird. Like I remember, I mean, unfortunately, it's a good/bad memory for him, terrible memory for him. But when the Celtics were in the playoffs and his sister passed, and he absolutely went off on the floor and talking to Danny Ainge about backing up the Brinks truck, if you will. You know, he averaged almost 29 points, 28.9 points a game. Did he win the scoring title?
No.
It's in bold. In 2016-17, he scored 28.9. No, that can't be. Maybe that represents a career high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm looking over. It's 46.3% from the field is also in bold. That did not lead the league. That is so weird, dude. Looking at Isaiah Thomas's history is crazy when you consider. So he scored in his final year in Sacramento. He scored a little over 20 points a game. He also had over 6 assists and over a steal a game, both career highs. And then he went to Phoenix the next year, and he played 46 games for Phoenix before Boston. So he went Sacramento, Phoenix to Boston, all within a calendar year, a year after scoring 20 points a game for Sac. And then in Boston, he was there for 2+ years. 22 points his first full year, 29 points his second. And then the year after he goes to Boston and scores 29 points, he's in Cleveland. And he split time between the Cavs and the Lakers. I know there were injuries in there as well, by the way. And then 12 games with Denver, 17 with the Lakers, 40 with the Wizards, 3 with New Orleans, 4 with the Lakers again, 1 with Dallas. And then the last time he played was last season. He played 6 games for Phoenix. I think I know why. I saw this tweet from him. I'm quoting Isaiah Thomas 6 hours ago. Man, when I'm on these flights, I be farting so much, LOL. Especially these overseas flights. It's all bad if you sit by me.
Stinky!
Was Isaiah Thomas booted from the league because everybody knew he was the SBD king? It makes sense if you think about it now. Come on, IT. Don't rat yourself up publicly, dude. Isaiah Thomas would have played in the California Classic if he was drafted around then. And we got news yesterday that the California Classic, which will take place in July, will be at Chase Center in San Francisco, and it will feature the Spurs, the Heat, the Warriors, and the Lakers. So 2 California teams, 2 not California teams. Okay. Maybe it's the California Classic, like California hosts teams from wherever. But why aren't the Kings there? Why wouldn't the Kings be in there? That's weird. So I talked to somebody that knows things. And the good news is this. Here's the good side of it. I'm gonna give you the good spin. I call it spin. I mean, this is true. Nothing I'm saying is false. I'm just saying I'm going to play defense attorney and then prosecuting attorney here. Let's start with the defense. The defense is the following. Okay, well, it's alternating now, so yeah, we're not playing this year, but all the games are going to be at Golden One Center next year, and that's how it's supposed to be from then on out. It'll alternate between Chase Center one year and Golden One Center the following year. So good news for Kings fans. The California Classic returns a year from July, and all the games will be here. That's great. That is, I mean, truly, that's great. And the other one is, okay, almost certainly not going to have a first-round pick. Don't have a first-round pick. You know, not really a team to field. So, you know, if we were going to skip a year, it would be this year. If we were going to do an alternating year, better this year than next year. Okay, yeah, I would rather, if I had to choose between the California Classic being here this year when we don't have a first-round pick, or here next year when we will have a first-round pick, and probably a fantastically high lottery pick. No, it'll be in the teens, but whatever. I'd rather it be next year. Okay, so that's the defense. So from what I understand, it was that the Warriors obviously are hosting it therein, and that the Lakers, the Spurs, and the Heat confirmed before the Kings did, and for the Kings to be in it, they would have to find another team to play. There's nothing I can really do with that, guys. Because my question would be, well, why didn't we confirm before anyone else? We're in California.
Why didn't we confirm before anyone else?
That's the question. I don't know. Or is it really terrible to find a sixth team? There's got to be another team out there that would want to play. Why not find a sixth team? Also, we may not have a first-round pick this year, but I know we had a first-round pick last year, and he played like 24 seconds during the season, Devin Carter. If there was ever somebody that more summer league would help, and I know that it's not like it used to be in second-year players, especially first-round picks, a lot of times will skip summer league. But it would be nice to see a fully healthy Devin Carter out there getting more reps. And we're also, here's the weird part. This is the weirdest part for me. We're the defending G League champions. Like, maybe some of those guys want to play. Maybe some of those guys could get showcased. I don't know. I'm being honest, man. I talk to people and I get half of it and I don't get the other half. I mean, they explain it very nice. It's not the end of the world, dude. Like, you know, I'm not going to freak out over the California Classic. But it's a little Sam Hinkie to me is all I'm saying, man. A little Hinkie, you know? You know who's really hinky is JR. I'm told he is on a hold. And good morning, JR. Welcome in. Chris, I don't have my finger on the button. How are you?
Good. How you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother.
Kelly, brother story. My son and his son went to Jamboree class when they were 4-year-olds together. How about that?
Like Boy Scout Jamboree?
No, it was like this little thing downtown that you just brought your kid in for the mornings, and 4-year-olds would run around and beat each other up. And my son was kind of a punk. He beat up, I think his son was Leland. Anyway, yeah, famous story.
He's coming on a bit later. Knowing Kelly, his kid by the end of the Jamboree was probably giving everybody advice on their finance.
Oh, yeah.
Teaching credit
He's
scores.
like, hey, if you take that, if you take that milk, put it in the refrigerator, let it compound interest, you'll have 2 milks by the end of the day.
Yeah.
He was all into that. Yeah, he was very, very wizardy with his money. Hey, I was going to go to the Wars, but I'm kind of bummed about the California Classic because every year we go there, we kind of take the day off and just buy our tickets down there and watch 3-4 games, whatever you were able to, if there's 4 teams, you watch 2 games, whatever it is. And it was fun. And last year when Keegan went off that one game, he had like 40 points in a game we were at. I don't know. It's just a great time down there. Now I'm bummed they're not, because I would have went down to San Fran and watched it at the Chase Center too, but if the Kings aren't in, I'm not going to watch down that. So it's kind of a bummer, to be honest. And it would be fun to watch old Devin, the Friar, have a full-on couple days of playing. So fix that, Dave.
Brother, I don't get it. I'm looking at the Golden One Center schedule, and June 28th is Jorge Medina and Jose Quinn, probably mangling that.
Oh, yes.
Then there's nothing. There's nothing until July 17th and 18th, and that's Cody Johnson. Barry Manilow, July 19th. Let's go. And then July 20th is I'll see you at this one, Disney Descendants, Zombies, Worlds Collide Tour. So,
I'm skating in that.
There's nothing between June 29th and July 16th, and there's nothing between July 21st and August 4th when Shinedown. Wow, Shinedown's playing Gold One. Dang, good for them, bro. I didn't know I love Shinedown. I didn't know Shinedown could carry an arena. Good for them. Anyways,
that's a step up. What are they going to do? Convert it to like a blood source or something? I mean, that's a long period not to use that venue.
So, and I mean, look, my guy James over there does a great job in booking acts, and for all we know, there's other acts they just haven't announced yet. But here's my thing: somebody brought it up. I think Tom Brady. Somebody brought it up on the chat line. I think it's a good idea. Well, fine, if you can't get invited. Here's the thing. This is what and I'm going to ask this today, JR. I'm glad we're having this conversation on the radio. If you're not invited to the California Classic or you're not playing in the California Classic, here's my idea. You take 3 days, let's say July, 10th through 12th. I don't know. 3 days you have open, and you invite the Utah Jazz. And you call it the Sacramento, the Capital Classic, right? And you have two summer league style games between the Kings and the Jazz, or the Kings and the Clippers, or the Kings and the Blazers, somebody nearby. And guess what? You open everything up and you sell tickets. And Kings fans who are so jonesing for basketball, even though we stink, they're going to buy tickets. JR, you're going to take the family down to go see the Kings and the Jazz.
Hey, throw in the A's tickets that day, and I'll go back and forth rocking across the bridge. 100%. You're an idea, man. You should be running the show. I'm just going to go ahead and throw my vote in for you right now, young man.
I'm not going to lie.
That is exactly what you do. Let's go. We could have Keegan versus Chris, Portland versus Zach. It's a little Oregon, California rivalry. The long 80. No, what would that be? The 5. The battle of the 5.
There's no, it's not the 5. It's not the 80. And thank you very much for the call.
It's the 5.
Yeah, it's not. It's 5. Knock it off. Knock it off, SoCal. I know we got a break, Chris. I just want to look at one more thing here because I'm not trying to overthink this, but let's see. July. Okay, well, July 5th through the 15th, through the 13th, the A's are in town hosting the Giants, the Braves, and the Blue Jays. I can't imagine that I can't imagine they'd move anything around to help, even though they're kind of under the same roof. I mean, you could do both at the same time. So it can't have anything to do with you. I'm going to ask that question. Why don't we just organize I'm making them money, concessions, parking, all the other stuff, ticket sales. Why can't we have our own? The Sacramento Showcase. Sell it. The Sacramento Showcase, brought to you by Snickers. You know why? Because the showcase will satisfy you. I'm tired of making this franchise that is worth $5 billion money. Just take any team and put them in there on the way to Vegas. Sacramento's on the way to Vegas if you're Portland. We'll take a break. When we return, just a 1-minute break here. Let's get into 3 for Madness before we get to Kelly Brothers. Conference finals. David Adelman speaks at his welcome press conference, even though it's kind of like Doug's, right? Like, well, you're already the coach, but now you're really the coach. And of course, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 1-minute break. We're back after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right. Kelly Brothers coming up. Here's our
good at business.
Here's our new training tops, Chris. Our new sponsor here, Castor. I don't know if you can see.
Looks like what Ellen was wearing yesterday.
Yeah, not as bright. I like these, though. I like these. All right. Question 1.
Which has been the more exciting conference final?
I think the Pacers Knicks. I don't think it's particularly close. Now, obviously, that's not a question if you're a Thunder fan. It's been plenty exciting for them. But I look. The Pacers are up 3-1, and they may very well win tonight. As a matter of fact, let me see if the line's out on this. Chris, who's favored by how much tonight? Pacers, Knicks, Madison Square Garden, Game 5. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Knicks by 1.
You are correct. The Knicks are favored by 4.5.
Ooh.
By 4.5.
What have they done to deserve that?
Right. Well, here's the thing. They haven't won at home yet. We know all about the famous first game where they lost 138-135. So that's a 3-point loss. They lost game 2 by 5. Okay. So that's 8 points over 3 games. And then they lost in Indiana in game 4. They lost by 9. So that's 3 losses by 14 points. That's less than 5 points. Simple math. That's simple math. Those are close games. Yeah, absolutely. That has been, and there's been the extra drama in there too, rekindling the old rivalry. You've got all the New York, celebrities that have been there and around, and then Indiana coming back with Pat McAfee and Triple H and a few others. There's been some back and forth between the celebrities as well, so that has been an exciting. And by the way, I think Indiana is going to be in the finals. I'm very confident about that. But as I said yesterday, if you told me one of the teams down 3-1 was going to come back, it's not. I don't think the Knicks are going to come back, but I think they'll win tonight. I do think this series will go 6, probably 6. But it's going to be interesting. You go back to to Indiana, where the Knicks have already won. That's their only win is in Indiana this series. Now, if the Knicks win tonight at home, they take care of business. I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, let's go to Indiana. Let's steal this one. Because if they steal that one, now they've won 2 in a row. They've won 2 in Indiana. the Madison Square Garden is going to go insane in Game 7. All the pressure now goes on to Indiana because they don't want to blow a 3-1 lead. And Tyrese Halliburton doesn't want to see meme after meme after meme of him doing the choking sign. And then, yeah, they won that overtime game. But the only thing worse than them losing in that overtime game after he did the choke sign would be them blowing a 3-1 lead. And you would see all this love and accolade. I think, Chris, you would adore that situation if that happened.
Oh, yeah. Will the Knicks even make it to the finals?
That's exactly. I don't even. I think this has been a more fun series, but I think. A Thunder series was whatever. The Wolves win one game by 90 points, and other than that, get swept. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
David Adelman says he wants the Nuggets to be in even better shape next season. Does Denver have the best built in-home court advantage?
Yeah, they do. It's the altitude. That's a real thing. Anyone who's ever spent any time on at altitude knows that's no joke. You go up a flight of stairs in Denver or even Tahoe, and you go, why am I a little out of breath? Well, I'm fat and out of shape, but also more than when I go up the stairs at home. Oh, there's no oxygen. Now imagine playing basketball in that environment when you're not, when boxers and MMA fighters are training for fights. You'll often hear a lot of times about, for example, a boxer or an MMA fighter training in Big Bear outside of the Los Angeles area. Up in the mountains is what it is. They're doing that for a reason. They're doing that to increase their cardio. If you can run 10 miles in that type of altitude, my goodness gracious, what could you do otherwise when you're at normal level? And I think with Denver, Paul West had tried this back in the early 80s famously, where they just tried to run everybody off the floor. And you had players on the other team throwing up on the sidelines that just absolutely could not keep up. That was the origination of the run and gun offense in the NBA, was those West head teams. So, yeah, I think Denver absolutely has that built-in advantage. The problem is that Nikola Jokic is never going to be a distance runner. He's a big lumbering dude that shockingly does as well as he does, MVP caliber games playing for Denver. The only other team I would say that has a built-in home court advantage, weirdly enough, is the Miami Heat, but that's for a completely different reason. That's because players, especially in the Western Conference, that go to Miami for one game a year, that's their deal, man. It's the middle of winter, especially in your colder climates. So imagine you're playing in I don't know. Denver. Let's just use Denver, for example. You're playing in the snow. It's snowy. It sucks. You haven't seen the sun in 3 months. And then you're on this roadie, and next thing you know, you're in 74-degree Miami with white sandy beaches, and you're a young millionaire. You're going to go out, and a lot of these guys go out and get hammed. And then, shockingly, that's why I always say for Kings games in Miami, watch for the guys that come up short on all their shots. Watch for the guys that play a weird number of low minutes compared to normal. Watch for the guys that are missing everything front rim. Or watch for the guys, this is always my favorite. Every other year you'll see players miss games with flu-like symptoms. I guarantee you Miami leads the league by far in opposing players missing games due to flu-like symptoms. So that's a pretty good built-in home court advantage. Problem is not everybody does that. In Denver, everybody has to run at that altitude. So, yeah, I'm all with what David Adelman's trying to do. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
What team out there is the closest in situation to OKC?
Oh, that's a great question. I think from a rebuild standpoint, I would say the Pistons and the Rockets come to mind. Although, again, I would argue the Spurs are just going to fly by them at some point, maybe even next year, depending on what they do this summer. But from a playing standpoint, I would say it's the Rockets, the Pistons, and the Spurs coming out of rebuilds. But when it comes to draft capital, It's the Jazz. They're still sitting on a ton of picks from Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. They got 8 first-rounders out of both of those. Unfortunately, those first-rounders went to Minnesota and Cleveland. Brooklyn actually has a pretty decent amount of capital and room. The Wizards, I don't know what the hell the Hornets are doing. They're just, if there's a worse thing than being a Kings fan right now, it's probably being a Hornets fan. It's certainly in the line of fire. But yeah, as I said yesterday, if Oklahoma City wins the title this year, and I strongly believe they will, and by the way, so do the markets. They are heavy favorites to win the title. The tidal wave of copycatting is going to go through the roof. Everyone's going to want to pull a Sam Presti. Everyone's going to want all his assistants. Everyone's going to want to go this route. You're going to have like 10 teams left to deal with 70% of the league payroll. And I don't think the Kings will be one of those. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kelly Brothers is going to join us. He is good at business. I don't know if you've heard that or not. Sam Amick shortly thereafter. And on the docket with Kelly today, couple of golf stories, including Ben Griffin's a great story and slow play as well. Around the Horn says bye-bye. We'll also see if we can't squeeze another Stan Atkinson. Can't have enough Stan Atkinson stories. See if we can get another one out from Kelly Brothers. It's Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross on vacation. He'll be back Monday. Christopher Law behind the glass. We're right back.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, Athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's broke their losing streak to finish the last homestand, it was a special day for Logan Davidson and Willie McIver. Each guy got his first major league hit. And for McIver, who grew up an A's fan, he drove in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th inning and threw out the potential tying run to end the game. A storybook finish to a special afternoon. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and essentially located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at sacssuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. sacssuperstore.com.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
Welcome back. Kelly Brothers joins us as he does each and every week. And Kelly, good morning. Earlier this show, we had a caller call in knowing you were coming on today and said that his son and your son both attended some sort of thing called a jamboree when they were like 4 years old downtown. Can you confirm or deny that actually happened?
I'm proud to say it probably happened. Both my sons far exceeded their father in that regard, and that they both became Eagle Scouts and have found great benefit in that as they've gotten older and put that on their resume. So probably true.
I asked if it was a Scouts thing. I thought it was a Scouts thing. And he said he didn't think it was he didn't know if it was a Scouts thing.
I don't know of any other jamborees unless you're driving a Jeep or something, you know.
I made it all the way to Weebelo. And, true story. And
which means you signed up.
I signed up. I signed up, and I got my mom, who is notoriously cheap, somehow wrangled it because, gosh, this is when I was like 5, so I'm really digging here. But I want to say, I think the first patch was Bobcat, and then the second one made you a Weebelo or something. And she didn't want to pay for the first patch, so she paid for the second one. And then she told me they let me skip all the way to Weebelo, like they pumped my ego up. And I think she was being light on the wallet, which you can appreciate. She's saving her money. She's
this is a Troop 1 downtown where my sons belonged. They have an incredible camp, Dave. It's called Camp Cody. It's up in the mountains. And I'm not, you drop your son off and you pick them up 9-10 days later, and they've grown while they're there. I mean, they've actually grown, and they haven't bathed either, but they've grown. And but that drive home was always incredible because of what they learned and the stories they had. And we always stopped at Denny's in Placerville for a big breakfast. And I mean, they did 50-mile hikes out of there, all sorts of things. It really was it was just scouting to my boys was the perfect antidote to the cell phone. It was a chance to put away the phone and actually be out in the dirt, building stuff, doing stuff, being with other people.
We had A's super closer, fireballer Mason Miller on a couple weeks ago. And in doing, we do pre-interview prep, everybody. We found out he was an Eagle Scout. And that's no joke when you read about like what it takes to be an Eagle Scout. So we had him run through some of that. Like if I'm ever stranded somewhere, I want an Eagle Scout with me, 100%.
Plus, I remember one time the troop met here at our house and I couldn't find them. And so I went out into the garage and there was the scoutmaster with about 8 boys, and they had jacked up my car and they were just showing how to change out a tire.
Okay.
They weren't stealing rims. They were actually
like they jacked your car up. Jeez.
Yeah, no, they were just how to change a tire and what a lug nut was and all that stuff. Just stuff that boys need to know. Girls too.
Girls too, absolutely. You got the Girl Scouts and they got the cookies.
And the girls are part of scouting now too. It's no longer Boy Scouts, it's Scouts of America. So
that's right. Speaking of lug nuts, slow players, golf. What's going on there?
It's really interesting. The Wall Street Journal's gotten a lot better at writing about sports business. Mm-hmm. So they just wrote a great article about because golf pros are always struggling with the pace of play.
Yeah,
as anyone knows. So Erin Hills, which is a fairly famous course in Wisconsin, they were trying to how do we get people to speed up? And so what the pro did there was he came up with a very simple question: how far do you hit your 7-iron? And what he found was that golfers, if you ask a golfer how far he hits his driver, he's going to tell you his best drive ever.
That's right.
It's kind of like gambling. You hear about the wins. You don't hear about.
That's right.
Right. And so, but it was how far can you hit your 7-iron? And he came up with a chart. And if you hit your 7-iron this distance, these are the tees we recommend you play. And it's, you know, it's only maybe 2 out of 10 golfers is actually taking that advice, but it's really changed where people play from. And right alongside that is the pace of play has picked up, because their finding was that most golfers play tees that are longer than they should play given their skill level.
You have walked into, let's all buckle up because I have a passion about this. First off, this isn't complicated. It's the thing is that people that run these golf courses are making it way too complicated. Kelly, I can solve half the problem right now immediately. I would say weekdays, let's call it 6 to noon, and no weekends. Get rid of the walkers. Stop walking on public golf courses. I understand that classic golf, you walk, but when I'm going to a golf course, you know, they call them the puny munis, which I love. When I'm at a golf course and I'm in the middle of a 5.5-hour round and we're 3 groups deep on the par 3 hole 5, and I've got
there's nothing worse.
There's nothing worse than looking ahead of you, and I got 4 people that are basically in God's waiting room. That's how old they are. that are you know, hitting them straight and true, and then getting ready, and then they're trudging down. I understand classic golf. I understand true golfers. I get it, but it makes no sense to me. You require the use of a cart, with the exception of when the old people play, which is weekdays. They're there at sunrise till whatever, and then get them out of there on the weekends, or at least severely limit it on the weekends. You've just solved half the problem.
Yeah, and at the same time, especially, well, and mostly it's private courses, but in Sacramento, especially when it's 105, they will no golf carts allowed on some of these courses, you know,
walking carts.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Oh no, absolutely. And you know, the corollary to this is I've tried to tell my wife and my daughters, because, you know, they're reticent to join in out of fear that they're too slow. Yeah. And the corollary to this is, if you just keep moving, no one cares.
100%.
Nobody cares.
So number 1 would be that. Number 2 would be exactly what you're exactly right with the tees, because we're so used to calling them, you know, they call the red tees the ladies tees. It's not the ladies tees. Stop calling it the ladies tees. They're the forward tees. And every golf course should have some, because look, men are stupid and egotistical and dumb. And
they are?
And they don't want, they don't want, I'm not playing the ladies' tees. I mean, everybody's been out with a couple of friends, and you got your one big bopper that's like, I'm playing the tips today while he's drinking his Budweiser. And then you're saying, like, oh, I don't want to go put on my skirt and wear the white, you know, go to the white tees. That's how, because guys are stupid. They associate it with masculinity. Look, you should have big, colorful signs that say exactly that. If you hit your 7-iron this distance, these are your tees. This distance, and by the way, you'll score better. You'll score better.
And Dave, here's the other that comes off of that. You see it every weekend out there. Is again, all guys think about is the best drive they've ever hit in their lives, right?
That's right.
So you've got a foursome that is 320 yards in front of you, but people don't want to hit into them. There's no chance in heck you're hitting into them. Hit the ball.
Not at, I mean, I gotta be honest. Okay, I am told now, I won't say who says it, but I know that the first guy I heard it from, you know what, I am going to call it out, because he's the first guy that Tom Morton at Hagen Oaks is the one that taught me about forward tees. And he said that, and they have the chart posted at the first hole. So there you go. Go play Hagen, because they do it, and everybody else should follow that lead. Thirdly, the third thing. So number 1, stop. You got to limit walkers. Okay. Unless you're a private course and what, you got to limit. And by the way, they'll make more money because you're going to get more rounds through. So limit walking. That's number 1. Number 2, post the signs. That's number 2. Number 3, Kelly, this is an important one. I'd love to see commercials for this. Normalize playing a scramble. Dude, if you are regularly shooting above 100, everybody knows the drill. You hit a great drive, let's say, and then you got 7 or 6 iron into the green and right into the tree or water, and you got to go chase after it, and now you're pissed, and now you're in a bunker, and you're digging down to China because you don't know how to hit a. When my wife and I, we play with another couple every other week, if not almost. We try to play as often as we can, Kelly, and we're all in the 90s, 100s, maybe 80 on occasion. But you know what? The guys play from the white tees, the gals play from the red tees because that's how we hit, and everybody tees off, and then we take the bet. We all go to the best ball. And we tee off again, and we try to break our own little course records. And we finish 18 holes. Generally, like we'll play Timber Creek or Hagen. We'll be like on a good day 1, 2, 3 under, but that's all 4 of us taking. It's so much quicker.
2-putt maximum.
2-putt max. Nobody. You don't have the one person having a bad day because if they hit a bad shot, it doesn't matter. Somebody else will pick them up. So you're rooting for each other. It's not going to, you're not going to be posting your score for your handicap. I understand that, but you're not a serious golf. We're not serious golfers if we're scoring that high. So play a scramble, normalize it.
Yeah, understand who you are. If you're a recreational golfer, then engage in that. Speed it up, have more fun, cheer for each other. But you're right. So, and that's a lot of this is just getting past testosterone and ego. That's all it is. Just getting past all that, knowing who you are. I was lucky enough to be the first one off on a local course here, maybe 3 weeks ago on a Saturday morning. And we played in 3 hours and 40 minutes, and it felt like a different game. It just felt completely so anyway, we have other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Sorry.
No. And, I just wanted to bring up Ben Griffin, who won the Charles Schwab. This guy retired from golf in 2021. He dipped his toe in becoming a loan officer. And then he decided, no, I'm not done yet. And he worked his way up the Korn Ferry Tour, won his PGA Tour card. He was 8th at the PGA, just won Charles Schwab. He's won $2.1 million in 2 weeks. So a good 2 weeks for a guy who really, truly thought, all right, I'm going to be a loan officer. And there's no loan officers making that these days, sadly. So
no, that would be the housing crisis in the early 2000s when you had 125-second mortgages. But and not only is Griffin doing that, and he's such a wonderful story coming through the injuries, but he's also he's top 5 most popular player amongst other players on the tour. They love him. He seems to be just a wonderful, wonderful dude. So I love that. That's a great story, and it's good work if you can get it. Finally, we say goodbye because Kelly, what we needed on sports television, we needed more shows where the hosts disagree with each other and scream for an hour. So thank goodness Around the Horn, which had some form of organized sports conversation with journalists up there, they say goodbye after quite the run.
Maybe the news story here, Dave, is that it survived 23 years. Maybe that's the story, because
you're right.
I'm not sure why it did, but it did. And they still haven't said what they're putting on its place, but Around the Horn signed off. Tony Reale's a very genial gentleman who I think did a good job of playing referee. But yeah, it was just sports writers kind of shouting at each other. But what are they going to put there? It'll probably be something NFL centric. They're trying to, they just know the value of the NFL and the brand, and that people will actually engage in conversations about the NFL 52 weeks of the year, unlike a lot of other sports. So Around the Horn, gone.
It's 100% going to be something like that. You're right. Probably NFL. I can guarantee you it'll be a guy host, a girl host, 3 ex-athletes, probably on a rotating basis, doing segments like it or spike it. And they'll start off every show with something with a big lower third graphic like, is Patrick Mahomes overrated? And then everyone will yell and scream about it. And then they'll take a break, brought to you by Huggies Diapers. They'll come back. It'll be some other stupid premise, and then we move on.
No, and I truly think that they had a plan to give Shannon Sharp his own show, and then boom, he he gets into trouble, and that's on hold for now. But anyway, hey, but I know our time is limited. I got one more Stan Atkinson.
Please, can't have enough. I would love that. Love it.
So Stan and I, first of all, I went out and I found, if you've watched any of the videos of Stan gave me, and I guess I didn't realize what a prize this was. He gave me his travel vest. If you've ever seen his Gunga Stan, I have his travel vest, which is fantastic. Awesome. I won't tell you what I found in the pockets. Anyway, no, Stan and I, one night, it was very rare, but he and I did the 11 o'clock show together. That didn't happen very often. It was a scheduling deal. We did the 11 o'clock show together, and one of our photographers was getting married that weekend. And there was a little bachelor party going on. And Stan and I decided, hey, let's go. You and I are going to go at, it's 11:45. It'll still be going on. So we walk into Club 400. Do you remember Club 400?
I do remember Club. I'm visualizing this now. This is fantastic. Stan and Kelly walking into Club 400.
So we walk into Club 400 on Alhambra Boulevard, which at the time was a gentleman's club. I will use that term. Okay.
Yes.
And so we walk in, and there's a great crew of guys there, and they're having a good time. And there's a little show going on that they did. And Stan and I are standing on the back wall, and we're both, wearing dark suits with makeup on. So we're at the back wall, just standing there. And suddenly this beautiful young woman comes up. She wasn't wearing a whole lot, but she comes up to take our drink order, and she stops and she says, "Aren't you Stan Atkinson?" And Stan, you could just feel his chest. Well, yes, I am, darling. What's your name? He says. And she says, my name is Bambi. And I just want you to know, my grandmother watches you every day. And the guys standing there are doubled over.
My God.
And the great part about Stan is he told that story himself about what that felt like to have this young woman say, my grandmother watches you every day. And that's a big deal. So
that is the up and down. That is the crash of an ego for you. real quick.
The agony and the ecstasy within about 30 seconds of each other. That's for sure.
As we go, my friend Tom sent me this. It's at Hagen Oaks. It says, welcome to the Arcade Creek Nines. Want to have more fun, shoot better scores, play in less time? The game of golf recommends choosing tees based on your driver distance. Average driver distance, 275 and above. You're playing from the black. You're playing from the tips.
Average, not best.
Average. Yes, that's a great point, Kelly. From 129 or less, you play from the whites. I guess they have the reds ahead there. So if you drive the ball under 164 yards, you play from the reds. Let me see where so I would be. We'll see. I hit my drive probably an average at 240. So they say yellow, which is like the second. No way, dude. For me, I look at that and I'm the opposite. Like I 240 is fine. But dude, sometimes it's 240. They don't ask you, do you hit it straight? I don't hit a lot of straight drives, brother.
And I know when you hit it a long way, you're a few degrees off. I got to play once with CC Sabathia. And man, he could hit the ball a long way, but I don't think he hit a fairway all day. But still, it went a long way, and it was fun to watch. And you know what I'm worried about? We live very close to Ansel Hoffman Park. They're closing down, and I'm wondering how they're going to get golfers in, but because they're redoing all the pavement in Ansel Hoffman Park, and it's like a 6 to 8 week process. And I'm just wondering how they're going to get golfers in. I need to figure that out.
I wish we had more time. We're out, Kelly, because I grew up on the bluff right above Ansel Hoffman. I know that place like the back. I'm playing the Easter Seals golf tournament next week out there. And if they're closing Tarshish down and everything. Oof. Okay, well, we'll get back to that next week.
Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for everything.
You too. Too. Thank you so much for the story, Kelly, too. Always appreciate it anytime you can talk about Stan Atkinson. Take care. All right. That's Kelly Brothers. We are way late, and Chris is mad at me. When we return, we'll just do a quick recap of some things. Got a couple things on the docket for you as well as we prep for Sam Amick at the top of the hour. We're back right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, you know, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this? Half off tune-up right now. It's a special going on, just $24.50. To get your air conditioner tuned up, a free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Saturday, June 7th, the Spears Cars Tours West lights up the Stockton 99 Speedway with limited and pro-late models, MMI Legends, mini stocks, and NCMA Sprints. Presented to you by Tracy Ford. Gates open at 5, racing at 6. Grab your tickets now at Stockton99.com. Be there.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sacktown Sports.
How long we have here, Chris?
About 2 minutes.
Okay, so quick segment here before we get to Sam. It's a perfect amount of time. I don't want it to be a long segment for me to, there's just not enough. I always say it's not enough accountability, especially in sports media. Everybody's a blowhard. So I'm going to take this 2 minutes to pull my foot right out of my mouth. Talk about being dead wrong about the walking thing, because somebody texted me and I honestly didn't even think about it. Not everybody who walks is slow and lame and just being a stuck-up purist. Golf is already not accessible enough for people that aren't. Golf's expensive, man, and it costs a lot more to ride in a cart than it does to rent a cart for $3 or to buy your own cart. Your walking cart. And golf doesn't need to be less accessible. It needs to be more accessible for everybody. And unless there was some sort of a deal where it costs the same amount to walk as it did to ride, in other words, bring the cost down, it's going to make it less accessible. So all I was thinking about was the duffers that I see out there that are holding everybody up because they want to walk. I wasn't thinking about the financial aspect. So that person's 100,000% correct. I've always been super passionate about making golf more accessible, and that just completely goes against everything I've thought. So foot in my mouth there. I apologize. I just didn't think about it. And also in talking to a buddy of mine in the business during the break too, here's the other thing. There are walkers that walk golf that actually are as fast or faster than people in carts because they're good. And yeah, a lot of times when somebody is walking and they are a purist, they've been playing forever, they're going to be good. Any old schmo like me can get in a cart with one of his buddies who's bringing a case of beer and just fire balls all over the place. As Robbie on the chat line says, walkers aren't necessarily why it slows down. Most of the time it's people who suck. Yep. Who play slowly. Yep. And by the way, everybody sucks at golf at some point. It's just there's certain times and certain courses maybe you don't go to in prime time if you're shooting 150. But ready golf is another thing. Ready golf is so important. Also, you don't have to wait for the person to, I agree with this, to be on the green before you tee off, unless it's a par 3. But yeah, the cart thing, because golfers often will slow the game down, or walkers will often slow the game down, but it doesn't need to be less accessible. So I take that back, and that's why it's great to be able to say things. And then, have your hometown kick you in the ass and then go, oh, you know what? I learned something. Okay, well, you learn something every day. And I'm all for the walkers now. Let's go. Walk. You know what? Just I'm playing Sunday. Just for that, I'm not going to walk. But I'll smile at the people walking because I'm not trying to exercise. All right, Sam Ament coming up in just 3 minutes. We'll take a break right now. We're back with Sam and Basketball Talk. Coming up next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item. Current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Gio Urshela was replaced on defense due to a hamstring injury. He will be placed on the 15-day injured list with no timetable to return. JT Ginn, out with that strained right quad, felt discomfort in that area, and the team is hopeful he can keep his arm in shape while the injury heals. There also is no timeline for his return. This injury update was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, when the A's broke their losing streak to finish the last homestand, it was a special day for Logan Davidson and Willie MacIver. Each guy got his first major league hit. And for MacIver, who grew up an A's fan, he drove in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 8th inning and threw out the potential tying run to end the game. A storybook finish to a special afternoon. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, hour number 3 as we welcome in Sam Amick of The Athletic. And it's a phone Sam, not a driving Sam today. So the bad news is we don't get to see his pretty face. The good news is we know that he's going to be, I always worry about distracted Sam if he's driving around doing the phone things or doing the video thing. So Sam, we miss your pretty face, but we appreciate you joining us. How are you, friend?
Good morning, David. Doing fine. This is not driving Sam. It's packing Sam. We're rushing off to the airport from Oklahoma City.
Oh, are you okay on time?
Yeah, I think we're good. I have positioned it appropriately, so we're good there. I just can't sit in front of the laptop.
They're going to clip that up. I've positioned it appropriately. Welcome in, Sam Amick. Why are you leaving OKC? Nothing going on there anymore? You're not staying at Bricktown?
I'm staring at Bricktown out the window of my hotel. We may have, blown off a little steam with fellow writers last evening at a local establishment, and I said to the bar owner, I was just like, well, we're about to get used to this place, because not only on this playoff run, but for years to come, I think these Thunder are going to essentially demand that a lot of national media spends a lot of time here, because they're a pretty damn good team.
I love it. And I want to start by running one of my crazy theories by you. And as always, feel free. I just got slapped down about suggesting they slow down on people that walk when they play golf. And there's a million reasons why I was wrong about that. So let's just go for a streak now on me being stupid. With everything that's going on with the Thunder, the fact that they're the youngest team in the NBA, they have probably more draft capital saved up than any team in NBA history, including Danny Ainge's Celtics back in the day. They got multiple people signed for a while. I go on and on and on. Anyways, if the Thunder win the title this season, in which they are heavily favored to do, combined with you hear reporters saying all the time, you see the think pieces, how this could be a crazy offseason because of all the aprons and different cap things. Sam, is it possible that this could be one of the most consequential title wins in NBA history because it will bring on an onslaught of copycat owners that say, hold on, you mean I could be in a small market, spend in the lower third, have the youngest team in the NBA, have a pile of draft assets, and win an NBA championship? Go do what that guy did.
No, I hear you. I think I don't have the numbers in front of me. Spending in the lower third, if that's true now, then it's not going to be true for much longer. So the second apron doesn't have mercy on anybody. But I think what you're hitting at, and that is accurate, is the fact that, it's gone from a superstar league and my God, they have the MVP. So they're not lacking for a superstar, but the depth and, somebody asked Chet Holmgren last night, why is this team able to, forget what word was used, but intimidate and defend the way they do and be so, daunting for their opponent. And he said, we have 17 guys who get after it and never stop. And I'm paraphrasing, but when he said 17, it was just like, good Lord, like he's not really that far off from being accurate. Their depth and the fact that, they could throw the other Jalen Williams in and he has good minutes against Nikola Jokic and you have Cason Wallace and Kenrich Williams and too many guys to count. That depth should make owners and GMs pause when they go the route of the Phoenix Suns and try to oversimplify things and say, if we get 2 or 3 stars together, then we're in business. To me, that's the biggest takeaway.
I don't want to get too nerdy here, and you don't have the numbers up. And of course, when we get into mathematics, that's where I really sound even more dumb than usual. But I'm looking at, first off, next year, everyone's signed. Everyone's back. AJ Mitchell and the other Jalen Williams, not the good one, but the other one. They're the only ones that aren't signed next year. Those are on team options. Then I'm looking at the following year. This is actually fascinating. The only people that are up, Hartenstein, who's on a descending contract, Dort, Kenrich Williams, Cason Wallace, and oh, by the way, we forgot Nikola Topic, I think the number 12 pick from last year's draft, who missed all year. He's coming back for them next year. So it just gets better. Anyways, those guys are all on team options, and then Chet Holmgren's on a qualifying offer. Then, look, 2 years from now, not next season, not the season after, but the season after that, yeah, Shea's out, Hartenstein, Dort, all those guys, but it sure seems like they're pretty dialed in, at least for the next 2 years.
Well, they are. And then, and I'm sure you could find this relatively easily online too, but the massive treasure trove of draft picks is the answer to all of the contract situations that await. They're going to lose, multiple of the players that you mentioned eventually. Yes. But they have just draft picks for days. So, all you got to know about this team, Dave, is, and I've kind of written this, even before last night's win and the finals appearance, and the fact that it looks like they're very likely going to win the title, and it would certainly be my favorite. I have poked around on the Giannis front in relation to this specific team because they have the pieces to do it. And I've yet to run into anybody who knows what's happening with the Thunder internally who thinks that it's being given any serious thought. Like they are good. They like what they have. They're not going, that a move like that would presumably shorten their runway. And that's not what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to dominate for a decade.
So, and we'll get back to that in a second because I have a question specifically about Giannis. Just to answer your question, you were right. It was easy to find online. This year, they have 2 firsts and a second. Next year, 2 firsts and a second. Following year, 2 firsts and 2 seconds. 28, they have 1 first and 3 seconds. 29, 1 first and 5 seconds. That's at least 20 total picks. That excludes protected picks over the next 5 drafts. And they're the youngest team in the NBA at 24.2 years old on average. So I've been saying this all week too. I don't know who Sam Presti's assistant and third in line and fourth in line, but they're all about to be millionaires from some other team.
You think? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah. Well, look, if they, okay, I'll couch it this way. If they,
I think you're underselling what they've like the history. Sam, in particular, 17 years with the organization, came with them, was the GM in Seattle. I mean, this is Sam's operation. And the last couple of weeks, I've actually spent a fair amount of time talking to people about how he runs it. And it's so interesting because, first of all, the people beneath him and the ones, who certainly helped a great deal with this operation, like, he knows a good thing when he has it, and he kind of structures things in a way where he compels people to stay for quite a while. Like, not a lot of people leave this organization, and and truthfully, he makes it tough for them to leave, but he makes it good for them when they're here. So it's kind of it's a twofer, if that makes sense. So I hear you, but it's not your typical like you kind of cut your teeth here and move on. It's like, no, they're trying to be the number one organization in the NBA.
You know far more about this than I do, and I have no argument. I just find it interesting that I got to think if the Thunder win the title this year, even if they don't, but if they do, that you're going to have owners. You're going to have owners across the league looking what they're doing, and by the way, what Detroit and what Houston are doing to an extent, what Utah is probably about to do with their picks and Danny Ainge. And go, okay, who is Sam Presti's top lieutenant who's been learning from him for, I want to give him $8 million a year over, I want to give him a 4-year, $32 million deal. That's tough to turn down.
No, it is. I mean, yes, the concept you're talking about is accurate. I guess, it's not to get in the weeds too much, but sometimes they decline permission from other teams. Sure. They want people to stay. But yes, you are correct. The thing we don't talk about GM's legacies that much. And, to your point, I guess to build off it, like, I find Sam's legacy so interesting. We just had a front office ranking earlier this season where he didn't only win a poll that was, voted on by his peers. Like we polled around 40 front office executives. He won it in a landslide. Like the only thing the guy is missing is a championship. He's literally like that player, like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul. They don't have a championship. Like Sam Presti is about to see his executive legacy, in my opinion, because I think they won it all, like changed, forever, because he's done everything but that.
It's honestly, as a Kings fan, I am horrifically jealous. I am green with envy, but you have to tip your cap in a small market, and Clay Bennett, for all the enemies he made years ago, taking the Sonics, has really, honestly done you have to say, a really good job staying out of the way and allowing Sam to do his thing. But that brings me now to another team on the rise, the San Antonio Spurs. And when you talk about Giannis, obviously any big free agent, any big trade, whatever, Oklahoma City, I imagine, with their draft capital and money, is always going to be mentioned. But how real are these rumors, or these things we see that San Antonio might very much make a play for Giannis?
I've seen mixed reporting. Admittedly, I don't have great intel there. I've seen others say that they're definitely going to hold on to the number 2 pick, which would make it very tough to get Giannis. I think it's insane if they don't look at it because, basketball people who are much smarter than me will tell you that Giannis and Wemby is about as natural a fit as you can imagine. Like, good luck switching on that. On both ends of the floor, it would be dangerous. So, I think the first domino that we are all guilty of having skipped over is, does he want out? And I'm really curious to see what happens. Like, there's there for sure are discussions being had about how he sees it. If he did ask out, what would the market look like? But you still don't have to work that hard to run into people who think he might stay put. If you look at the East, what happened to Boston and them falling apart so quickly, not only with Tatum's injury, but the second apron stuff that they're facing. If you're John Horst, the GM of the Bucks, you can accurately tell Giannis, like, the East just got a lot easier, and there's a decent chance if you get traded, either to the West, which is loaded, that's a tougher road to hoe, or in the East, wherever it is, like, the Bucks are going to be trying to get everything they can in a possible deal. So how, what does the team look like on the other side? But yeah, just in a vacuum, Spurs, Giannis, Wemby, that whole crew. I mean, yes, that could be pretty special.
The other series going on,
of course. Sorry.
Yeah, you forgot about one guy. That's fine. We're speaking of things that are painful for Kings fans to talk about. The Pacers are 1 win away from the NBA Finals. Yeah, I know. We spent plenty of time on Tyrese Halliburton and that team in general. A lot of the conversation around here, Sam, and you live here, is honestly turned to, that trade for Sabonis was a failure, this, that. But, we've been talking a lot this week about how the context of that. I'm not trying to say Sabonis is better than Halliburton or vice versa. I think we'd agree Tyrese Halliburton's the more coveted player. But really, you have to credit Kevin Pritchard and the job they did and just kind of learn, I would say, in the sense from the Sacramento Kings point of view, they went out and they got Halliburton, but then they also got Pascal Siakam and they got Nesmith, and they drafted Mathurin, and they made plenty of moves afterwards. Conversely, as you know better than anyone, the Kings, after acquiring Sabonis, the big thing was, why is the front office sitting on their hands? They went after Siakam famously, but it just seems like that trade being lopsided in favor of the Pacers is kind of an incomplete statement, I think, when you consider everything else the Pacers have done. It's almost an insult to them.
Yeah, I think I'm torn. I don't think I'm totally on your side on that one because, like, if you just go Sabonis versus Halliburton, as far as a player, and not to dehumanize him, but an asset.
Yeah.
One guy has a much shorter runway at this stage because you're talking about a 5-year gap in age, roughly. And the other, just, age regardless factor is that Tyrese looks like the more unique, impactful, special player for championship purposes, especially like we've talked about in today's NBA. He's a lifter. The way that he plays. If people haven't seen it, by the way, my favorite social media thing lately is people comparing Tyrese to Steve Urkel. Famous Family Matters, pickup game, and it's
right
hilarious because it's not a stretch at all. But I think that I kind of went on a rant the other night with somebody with the Timberwolves about this, where I was like, man, I don't have the energy to make it a thing, but since you now asked me about it on the air, yeah, we need to revisit the narrative. It's not the win-win that we claimed it was before. It's just not. Tyrese is the better player. They should have probably found a way for him to play with Fox. And if it didn't work with Fox, then you do what you ultimately did anyway, and you move Fox and you build around the Kings. So yes, more happened after the trade. But I think the Pacers, without question, got the better end of that deal.
And I don't disagree. I think we're talking to each other, but a little not past each other. I don't know what the hell the term is because you're listening, I'm listening. I guess let me ask you this. Let's go back in time. Same exact trade. Fox is on Indiana, which you and I have documented for a long time was not on the table. Fox is in Indiana. Halliburton stays in Fox's place in Sacramento. Now Fox is on the Pacers, and Halliburton is here with Sabonis. Okay, but the Pacers go out and do all the moves they did, and the Kings go out and don't do all the moves that they didn't. Are we still having this conversation about Tyrese Halliburton?
I mean, I hear you. There's a lot of ifs for me to track.
I know, yeah.
All that matters is that, the player, there's just certain players that, it was almost universal at that time that people said, oh boy, that's not a player that especially an organization like the Kings should let go. And truthfully, and it happens all the time, it's that unfortunate element of short-sightedness in terms of the organization wanting success, more quickly, and putting pressure on the front office to compete now rather than some kind of slow rebuild. And that leads to more short-sighted moves. I mean, Domas is a very good, great player in today's league, but Tyrese is he is right now, literally the hottest dude out there. You know what I mean? And it looks like he's going to be that for a minute, and that could have been in fact.
Are you saying Sam Presti wouldn't have made that trade?
Yes, I'm saying that. Sam Presti has, he also has, even though it's a small market, pretty tremendous backing from owner Clay Bennett, who has stayed out of his way. It's the same thing we've talked about the entire time. Nobody in this league, ownership-wise, meddles less, I feel confident saying, than Clay Bennett, the Thunder owner. And so good on Clay, because those two key choices won't meddle, and I will pick a guy who's good to run my front office, and it's worked out pretty well.
Are you saying, Sam Amick of The Athletic, that Kings fans might be facing a situation where Luka Doncic was in the finals one year, Tyrese Halliburton will be in the finals the next year, and it could be Fox versus Halliburton in the finals the following year? I mean, that's really where we're headed, aren't we?
Listen, buddy, I'm not. This is where you get me in trouble. Somebody texted me yesterday. They're asking me some Kings questions just from another team, and I literally wrote back I don't actually know the answer to that. I'm taking a break from the Kings, and it was pretty great because they wrote back, "I love that for you." So I have resisted the urge to have the thoughts that you are now sharing be tweets, because I'm not trying to pile on from the top rope. Yes. If I was a Lean Voisin back in the day, or Mark Kreidler or Scott Howard Cooper, a Sacramento columnist, yes, if I had something to write on a random Wednesday during the playoffs that the team I covered wasn't part of, yes, I would write a column about the 6 degrees of Sacramento component that is happening, and it would not make Kings fans happy to read. So you're not wrong.
Do you think Clippers fans are going through any part of this watching Oklahoma City as opposed to Indiana, and watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and some people saying that trade may end up being the Herschel Walker Dallas Cowboys equivalent in the NBA?
Yeah, for sure. The low-hanging fruit comedy that you just gave me is Clippers don't have fans. But that
was you.
I'm just going to pick on everybody today.
Aggregate that, Evan. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they for sure should. It's funny, I haven't read it yet. There's a young man who's in the business who covers the Clippers who, to his credit, was asking for feedback on a story he wrote, and he texted it to me yesterday. I still need to look at it, but the headline was why the Clippers got it right by saying goodbye to SGA. And I was just oh boy, I'm ready for this analysis, because I'm not seeing that. Yeah, so I'll do you one further just to take the, not to beat the Clippers up too much. The Paul George component to these playoffs is really interesting because you have the Thunder getting here largely on the backs of this Paul George trade that sent him to the Clippers. You have the Pacers having pivoted off of the Paul George era to what they are now. There's even a front office executive with the Thunder, Rob Hennigan, who used to be with the Magic. He was their GM, who ironically, he's the one who traded Domas and Victor Oladipo to the Thunder in a deal that played a part in the eventual deal, like the deal before the deal, if that makes sense. And like all these different kind of threads that all tie back to Paul George. That's another thought that, that's a column that Paul George wouldn't enjoy reading because the general idea is that getting off of Paul George has inspired all this success. But it's a pretty wild little kind of, web, if that makes sense.
That's insane, dude. You're so right, because Oklahoma City drafted Sabonis, and then he went to Indiana as part of the George deal. And then he goes from Indiana to Sacramento for Halliburton. I'm talking about Sabonis. It really is like 2 degrees of set. This is going to be the Paul George finals, dude.
I know. And you're cleaning up my mess because I forgot all the details. But yeah, it's like getting off Paul George is the way to go, apparently.
Okay, again, they're going to clip you up, dude. You got to relax.
And I'm tired. I slept for 4 hours. Give me a break.
That might be the best one you Okay.
Get your mind out of the gutter, David.
That's what you get for doing a show with a 12-year-old. All right. Well, Sam, are you coming home, or are you going to New York or whatever?
No, I'm coming home, man. I need to get home. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, I got real life waiting for me.
Back to the Grove. All right. Well, Sam Amick is the man, the myth, and the legend, writes for The Athletic. As always, get your Athletic subscriptions. You can tailor all the journalism for all the teams, all the sports, whatever you wish, as to your liking, and it is a steal at twice the price. I fully say that with my chest because they do excellent work, including our friend Sam. Safe flight. Say hello to the wife and children, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, brother. Be good.
Okay, you take care. That is Sam Amick. God, I don't. How have I not thought of that? It's probably everywhere. It's just been a week for me. How have I not sat and thought about this Paul George component involving both Indiana and Oklahoma City and Sabonis and Halliburton? Wow. And by the way, I'm very much aware that 90% of you are probably saying, like, well, duh, Dave, don't you do sports for a living? How much? I just honestly hadn't thought about it. I couldn't get past us. God, that's a tough truth to drive towards. It's not difficult to drive towards, though, is a fantastic deal on a brand new Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Hey, look, what's that over there? It's Woodland. It's 5 minutes from the airport. It's also the home of our good friends at Hoblet. Family owned and operated. And they run their business the way, in my opinion, a business should be run. They want repeat customers. They want you to have a great experience. Seriously, they want you to have a great experience because they also want you to come back. They want your kids to come back, your friends to hear. The word of mouth is so important in this day and age. And let's be honest, there's car dealerships everywhere, and everybody's got the latest Sunday deal of the century. But with Hoblet, it's just being honest. No dealer markup, even on the crazy to find vehicles. No dealer markup. And what you see is what you pay. You go online, you see a price, whether it's one of their used vehicles, in which they have a ton under 20 grand, or one of their over 400 brand new Dodge Ram trucks the price you see is the price you pay. You're not going to get in there and spend 2 hours and then at the end find out there's 500,000 other fees you got to pay. Search, select, and save at HoblettDodge.com. Get up there today. Get up there tomorrow. Heck, get up there this weekend. And tell me your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll take a break. We'll take our first look around the sports world. Touch on a couple things before we get to previewing tonight's Eastern Conference matchup. We'll do all that right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, getting out the door to a comfortable start. As we head through the afternoon, temperatures are going to be warming up. Expect to have light winds and highs today in the low to mid 90s with mostly sunny skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
Fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yes, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino. With 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations that include SR Prime Steakhouse, 32 Brews, Dragon Boat, and The Market. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience the height of hospitality. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with punk legends The Damned at Ace of Spades May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by jam-packed June 21st. Tainted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Thunder Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo, July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center, July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat. Only with Sacktown Sports.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Jason on vacation. He'll be back next week, thank goodness, as I was just telling Tristan in the chat. And we welcome you to the YouTube chat if you wish. Just go to YouTube, like, subscribe, do all the things you're supposed to do. What the hell is going on with my freaking hair right now? Windy outside. But we appreciate you joining us. You can call us at 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 916-339-1140. Matt is on line one. Matt, welcome in. You're on with Carmichael Dave and Christopher Log. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just
appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, listening to Sam Amick, and I've lived in King's Purgatory like everybody else since the 80s, so always looking to improve the squad. But just reading all these articles, right, and everything I hear about Tyrese Halliburton could have been, Luka Doncic could have been, right? Like, being a realistic Kings fan, we may have swung and missed in a couple things, but it's like I take the opinion of there's no way to know about Tyrese Halliburton versus De'Aaron Fox in the moment, right? So I hear a lot about, and I read these articles about the LaMelo Balls, the Trae Youngs coming up in the future. It kind of seems to me, as being a lifelong Kings fan, we're looking for a serviceable point guard. And I think everybody's glazing over the fact that we might have that guy in Devin Carter sitting right on our bench. A draft pick, right? A lockdown defender. A guy who's proven in the G League, notably, right? Not the NBA necessarily yet, but that he can put up big numbers, be a serviceable ball handler. It just seems like we're looking too far out of house for these trades that are going to gut the franchise in the future. Like we've swung and missed on certain things, like a Kevin Huerter in year 2 and 3 of that deal, instead of just looking in-house with Devin Carter. And I just wonder why we're all glazing over that fact. And to me,
hold on, because you're saying a lot of good things. And I want to talk to you about this. Let's start before we get past that, and then feel free to finish what you were going to say, my man. So we talked about Devin Carter yesterday, and it is interesting because it's sadly funny that you mentioned Luka Doncic, you mentioned De'Aaron Fox, you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton. What you didn't mention was Davion Mitchell. All these guards point guards that either could have been or were Sacramento Kings, and now our biggest question is point guard. And we do have Devin Carter. So we talked about that because Devin Carter's 6'2", 6'3", but he's not considered a point guard. He's not a classic point guard. That's not how we understand the Kings view or have ever viewed him. He's more of a kind of a Marcus Smart hybrid type, if you will. But I was thinking about this last night because we were also talking about the rumors that the Kings might be interested in Drew Holiday, who's a lot older, has a huge contract, but also is a perennial defensive first, second team nominee. And I went back and I looked, and Drew Holiday dished out 4 assists last year, 4.8 the year before. Now he's been in the 7s for a few years at times, and even hit 8 his 4th year with Philly. But I found myself wondering that if the team has Domantas Sabonis, it kind of takes pressure off a point guard to be your true blue 10 assist a game Trae Young type. I don't look. I'm gonna have a conversation with Scott Perry next week, and that's one of the questions I'm gonna ask him, dude. Is hey, tell me why Devin Carter wouldn't work at point guard, and I'll happily share what he tells me on the record, because I do think it's an interesting question.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you brought up Davion Mitchell, because that's one for me that still stings. I saw the potential, I saw the need and the fit that we could use this year. But like, I think about a Drew Holiday, right? And I don't know if you share the same opinion. I'm hearing a lot of trade rumors about Marcus Smart, who's kind of in the same mold as an older Devin Carter, right? Maybe not some of the 3-point shooting ability, but the same defensive-minded player, the same type of not prototypical point guard. You look at a Drew Holiday, I just wonder what it takes, and that's why Scott Perry is going to have his work cut out for him this offseason. I don't envy that position at all right now, because he's going to have to make those decisions about pieces that we keep in order to facilitate getting that point guard, right? And it's going to be a gamble in any direction. I totally understand that. I just look at like a Devin Carter, like you said, Sabonis takes a lot of pressure off of him as a point guard, right? I think what we ran into last year is we had no semblance of a point guard at all for the second half of the season. I mean, everybody could see that. Malik tried his hardest, but it's just not his position, right? From what I saw from Devin Carter, and this is a guy who watches every second of every Kings game, I'm by no means an analyst, I see a guy that's a better option than some of the other options that we're looking for in that position. Like when we're looking at like a Tyus Jones, when we're looking at guys like that, I feel like we have that guy in-house who may have some deficiencies, but we also haven't seen the full potential of a Devin Carter with a full healthy offseason. He got some experience in the second half of last year, but I mean, my thought is maybe that guy grows into our starting point guard. And that's kind of, my thought process with it.
It's interesting, and thank you for the call. There's a lot to unpack there. I'll tell you. I'm looking at the Celtics right now, and I just don't know how this would work. Because what would be interesting is if, the first idea would be, okay, if you want to get a Jrue Holiday, because Boston's going to have some money issues. If you want to get a Jrue Holiday, the first thing people think is, okay, well, what if you threw DeMar DeRozan in there? Hey, DeRozan for Jrue Holiday. Why not? Well, the problem is that DeRozan makes 23.4, Holiday makes 30. The Kings would have to throw something else in there, and I don't know that the Celtics would even do that straight up. I really don't. Now, there's things that the Kings could do to work stuff around, but honestly, the only thing on the surface that works money-wise, actually, that didn't even work money-wise, by the way, I was going to say is DeRozan and Devin Carter. But that doesn't work. But the slam dunk, if you're going to deal with the Celtics, if you really want to do something silly, I will take a look, and I say this with all love. Let me say something about Zach LaVine real quick. I had somebody actually tweet me the other day, and it bothered me. And not what they weren't rude. I don't want to come across this way. I think Zach LaVine's an incredibly talented player. I don't think he's trash. I don't think he's bad. I know some people bring up his disappearing acts last year. He was also going through something off the court that's his business. I'm very confident that if Zach LaVine played a full season in Sacramento next year, that his numbers in Sac would be relatively close to his career averages. And I mean that in a good way. You know what I'm saying? I mean that in the best of ways. I think Zach LaVine is a hell of a basketball player for what he does. He's going to hit threes. He's going to score a ton of baskets. That sounded amateur. He's going to score. It sounded like something my daughter would say. He's going to score a ton of baskets. He's going to score. And like the year before, his You know, last time he was healthy in Chicago a couple of years ago, 25 points a game, 4.5 boards, 4.5-ish assists. In the last couple of years, his splits, by the way, 51, 44, and 87 last year for Sacramento. 51 from the field, 44.6 from three on over 7 attempts a game, and 87, 88% at the line. Like, those are great numbers. So I am not a Zach LaVine hater on his game. Not that it's perfect, but at all. I am a hater of Zach LaVine's contract. Okay. When I talk about getting rid of Zach LaVine, and I say getting rid of as if it's something you have to use disinfectant for, it's nothing to do with his game. It's everything to do with the fact that he is owed $47.5 million next year and $49 million the following year on a player option if he picks it up. What I am absolutely petrified of, the Kings, in a weird way of thinking, he's extension eligible this summer. So they might want to tear up that player option and try to extend him at 30 years old another 2, 3, 4 years. I am petrified of that. Now, listen, hold on. If they can extend him, and instead of him, and I don't know why he'd do this, he's due, $100 million basically over the next 2 years. But if you could do something where it was like, I don't know, 4 years, 125, which he wouldn't do. If you could drop his yearly to 30-ish million a year, which would be a cut of 17, 18 million a year, but would extend him out. There's no way he does that. I don't think you can extend him for any. I think at best you're extending him for 4 and 160 or 3 and 120. At best, you're lowering that average annual value from 47, 48 down to 40, because he's not getting 47, 48 a year on his next deal no matter what. But if the Kings bust out with a 3-year, $120 million, 4-year, it'd be a 3-year, 3-year 120, 4-year 160. Then I'm quitting show business, dude. I hope to God they're nowhere near that. So that being said, if there was a way to somehow, now Zach LaVine as a Tatum replacement is interesting. There's no Tatum replacement, by the way, but as a Tatum stopgap is incredibly interesting. Problem is he makes $14 million more than Jrue Holiday. So I'm looking right now, I'm going, okay, if you put LaVine in there and Holiday, you got to find a way to make up $14 million. The only way I can think the only way that probably works, you're very, very close, you're $1 million off, is a Holiday, Horford, Peyton Pritchard deal. They're not going to do that for LaVine and heavy draft capital. They're not doing that. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate you. Buddy of mine just brought me a duffel bag. 5 years, 160 for Zach LaVine.
Hey, Dave, I hate to get in the middle of this, but we're about 7 minutes over.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Have you been texting me?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm not getting, look, I'm looking at my phone right now. I'm sorry, I'm not getting any texts out. Wow, I have a bunch of message failures. Well, you know what? You can just bust in anytime you want on the show and tell me to shut up, which you just kind of did. We'll take a break. When we come, what the hell are we doing when we come back? I just got down this whole rabbit hole. Oh, I know what we'll do when we come back. How about who's hot, who's not, and streaking? Is that okay very quickly?
That sounds great.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Alan Stiles here
with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Gio Urshela was replaced on defense due to a hamstring injury. He will be placed on the 15-day injured list with no timetable to return. JT Ginn, out with that strained right quad, felt discomfort in that area, and the team is hopeful he can keep his arm in shape while the injury heals. There also is no timeline for his return. This injury update was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. One-stop Honda shop.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
This is a real weird stat.
Mm-hmm.
They outscored the Timberwolves by 31 points in a series. That's despite losing a game by 42 points. The series point differential is 50 points better than any other NBA team that lost a game by 40 points or more.
Chris, we get it. You like Oklahoma City, okay? No need to shove it in our faces constantly. My goodness gracious. Yeah, they're very good. They're very good. And you know what, man? It's like I always use this term. It's like the old Dickens movies where, based on his novels, where you got the kid outside in the storm, the snowstorm, and he's taking his mitten, his gloved hand, and he's making circles in the window of the restaurant or the pub where families are all together dancing and raising a glass, and someone's on the piano and everyone's having a good time, and he's out in the cold like that. Kings fans are the ones with the mittens making the circles in the window, and the Thunder and the Pacers, they're all inside, having family time and enjoying themselves. But you have to just tip your damn cap. I hate to say it, you got to tip your cap, man. And hopefully, I keep saying copycat. It's probably because I'm trying to send a damn message, which is we need to copycat that. Small market, stability, and, win championships by getting awesome draft picks and making great trades. God forbid that actually happen. All right, who's not other than, us?
Minnesota men's professional sports teams.
Oh, boy, aren't they? Yeah.
With that series lost, Minnesota men's professional sports teams are 0-10 in conference final records since 1991.
That's got to be the Twins and Kirby Puckett,
yeah.
Right? I would think, yeah. Yeah, and also, dude, it's cold there. A lot. Lived there. St. Paul to be specific, Minnetonka Avenue.
Hey, but the Lynx are killing it.
That's
basically all they got.
Oh, I thought you were talking about golf.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, there's actually a lot of golf in Minnesota. There's no lie. They say there's 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. I think it's more like 13,000. You've never imagine like driving in the middle of the pocket area, and you're going to your friend's house, and it's the first time you've ever been there. You don't have directions. This is before Google Maps and all that, and you come to a dead end on a road because there's a lake in front of you, but the same road with the same name picks up on the other side of the lake. So, yeah. By the way, they say Minnesota is famous for its 10,000 lakes. Did you know that there are 3 states that have more lakes than Minnesota? Well, 2 states, really. Care to take a guess, Chris?
Alaska.
So Minnesota has 11,842 lakes. The number 2 state with lakes at 15,000 is Wisconsin. But you are correct. Just honestly barely edging Wisconsin for the number 1 spot, Alaska. So Wisconsin has 15,000 lakes. Alaska has 3 million. I learned today. Come on, man. Hey, Siri. How many lakes does Alaska have? Come on. Well, this one, what? It says I got you. Okay. It says they have 3,197 officially named natural lakes. And then I guess it's just what defines a freaking lake anyways, dude. But 3.2 million lakes and all but 3,200 of them are unnamed. What is Alaska? Big and largely uninhabited or something? You ever been to Alaska?
I have not.
Me neither. We'll solve that in August. Do we have time to streak?
Very quickly.
Okay, let's go.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking!
All right. What happened, Chris?
Well, I had only a 1-game hitting streak on my last time. So to get my streak going, went with Old Faithful, Jackson Holiday.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday, Jackson Holiday he had a monster game, 3 for 5 with an RBI.
Wow. Well, that's really getting going. Appreciate that, Jackson. Always like that music, especially on a Thursday. Jason Ross, how did he do? The other guy that's playing around with trying to get a streak. LOL.
He's got a 1-game hitting streak. He started with Aaron Judge and then went to Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar went 2 for 5, so his streak continues. Now onto the big boy.
That's right.
Carmichael Dave.
Let's go.
He had a 6-game hitting streak.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani hoping to get it going.
One of the best hitters in the game. Him and Aaron Judge, probably.
He got up 3 times.
Yes, he did.
Boo! You
Come
suck.
on. Seriously? You know
0
what?
for 3.
It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate you. I hate you, Shohei. I'll bet you bet on all that stuff. I'd lost my streak with Shohei Ohtani. What the HE double hockey sticks is that? All right, fine. Screw it. Start again. Pick yourself up. Start again.
Not a lot of games today.
All right, give me Jakob Wilson of our sort of hometown, not really Athletics playing out of the country.
All right. You've got, you know what? I'm also going to go with Jacob Wilson.
Look at you. Look at you. All right, we'll take a break. when we come back. The final hour of the program. Let's take our first look. Pacers Knicks tonight. Series a lot closer than we think. We'll talk about it next.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone. Well, I do need a bundle of things. When you bundle, you save. Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter? Save up to $12 on that bundle. What about brake pads and rotors? Bundle those and the brake pads are free. Can't save more than free. You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. SubcontractorsUnited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
This Memorial Day, grab the keys to a new ride during Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event. Right now, get a low-cost lease on the 2025 Prius. Sleek, efficient, and with impressive MPG, it's perfect for long weekend road trips or the daily hustle and bustle. Or shop great deals on 17 Toyota hybrid models from the longest-lasting brand on the road. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year complimentary scheduled maintenance plan. Toyota's Summer Starts Here sales event ends soon. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Offers end 6/2/25.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Summer's almost here, and so are popsicles, pool days, and a lot of smiling. Make sure your kiddo's smile is ready with a visit to Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics. Our expert team makes dental visits easy and fun with sensory-friendly hours for kids who need a calmer environment. We can also accommodate same-day treatments, and to save you time, if your child needs multiple treatments, we can often do them all at once. Appointments fill up fast, so don't wait. Beat the summer rush and schedule online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, where healthy, happy smiles begin.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. Welcome back. Final hour of the program. Remember, tomorrow, Friday, fun and games. Jason Ross on vacation this week. He will be back on Monday. We will be full strength in studio. Your phone calls, 1-800-920-1140. Your texts at 916-339-1140 from the 916. For law, just picks holiday every day. Can't pick them every day. You only pick them if, you only pick them once during the streak. From the 530.
He's only missed out for me like twice.
He's actually had a very, we don't hear a lot of sad holiday music from Adam Sandler. So you're actually right. Let's see. Somebody, I didn't answer this from the 530 asked a couple seconds ago. We were talking about Zach LaVine and an extension. And he said, would you extend Zach 5 years, 160? Ugh. I would extend Zach. If it made it easier to trade him, then yes. If it made it, which it would make it easier to trade him, one would think. But you're also talking about a guy who's going to be making $160 million on a contract that would take him until he was 35, 36 years old. So you're taking a risk there. You're basically giving him the contract and hoping somebody else pays. I would imagine. And again, this just to be incredibly clear, this isn't a knock on Zach LaVine or his abilities at all. He's a tremendous basketball player. I don't think it's what this team needs. And I think that is a rough contract, dude. The Pacers, Indiana will travel. Well, they've already traveled. Let's be honest. Madison Square Garden tonight, 1 win away from the NBA Finals. They are 2-0 at MSG this season, or excuse me, this series. And big thing here is don't get ahead of yourself. This is a 3-1 series, but I would say this is as tenuous, if this is possible, as tenuous a 3-1 lead for the Pacers as you can possibly get. Because let's just go back. It took a massive Knicks collapse in game 1. Credit to the Pacers. I'm taking zero credit away from them, but the Knicks helped for them to get that game 1 win in overtime. Well, game 2, fair play to the Pacers. They won that again. No issues. Now, also in defense, the Pacers had to collapse for the Knicks to win game 3, 106-100. And then probably in the game that didn't feature a collapse, game 4, that went about as close as you can to normalcy. Pacers won by 9, 130-121. Actually, the biggest point differential in the entire series of any of the games. So tonight it's at Madison Square Garden. Knicks are up against the wall. Fans are going to be going insane. Celebrities will be all out. Timothée Chalamet will be doing what he'll be Chalameting. And let's just say Knicks win this one. Let's say they win it by the same score, 131-21, what the Pacers did to the Knicks in game 4. Okay. So it's now 3-2. And you're going back to Indiana. The Knicks already won a game in Indiana. They're 1-1 there. And then it's like, well, hold on. Well, who is the pressure on? I think, look, the team that is literally in a must-win game, of which all possible 3 of these games left in the series are must-wins. Obviously, the Knicks have the most pressure. It's not about who has more pressure. In the next 2 games, 100%, the pressure is higher for the New York Knicks. They're down 3-1. And even if they won, they'd be down 3-2 on the road. But it's a matter of degrees, because if they win tomorrow or tonight, now all of a sudden, and all the eyes of the basketball world now are on this series because it's the last series going until the finals. So you're going back.
Go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, would you like to know what the get-in price for tonight's game is?
I want to guess. All right. Madison Square Garden, game 5 could be very
These are
well.
standing rooms.
These are standing rooms.
Yes.
Could be the last game this year at Madison Square Garden. $500.
$424.
Jeez.
For a seat, $472. Those are the cheapest.
To stand?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, people are going to pay it. And that really, let's dive into that just a tiny bit. $500 to go and stand. Now, first off, $500 to go to see something is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like it used to be. Like, people pay $500 to go see the Eagles or Paul McCartney or something. Like, it happens. It's not just jillionaires paying that kind of money. Like, average Joes are paying stupid amounts of money to go to like once in a lifetime concerts and stuff. I mean, it's out there. We've seen it. Taylor Swift, stuff like that. But to stand and look at little dots running around a floor, it's like this weird thing where you think the people that have the disposable income to pay for that are generally also the same people that would never want to do something like that. They'd be like, I'm sitting, if not front row, I'm sitting lower bowl, or it's not worth it.
Oh, well, they do have front row tickets available on StubHub, section VIP 10, row AA. It's nice enough that they include both tickets in the sale. Do you know how much those are going for?
No.
$45,736.
How much?
$45,736.
For where? Lower bowl?
No. That's front row AA VIP.
Jesus. That is insane. That is insane.
Like, what
That's
if they get to
insane.
game 7? What's that going to be?
Probably a record for a conference final. I mean, it is New York, but I don't get it, dude. I understand. Hey, you're there. It's an experience of a lifetime. I understand that there are people like that. And when I say people like that, I'm just saying I'm not. Like, I love being at stuff, but not,
You
Dude.
would have to make enough money, I think, Dave, for that to feel like $400 to like a normal person, right?
You're 100% right. If like, look, I gotta do apples to apples. If the Kings were in game 7, would I spend $500 for standing room only tickets? If they were in game 7, let's call it the NBA. Let's just make it the ultimate. Game 7, Golden One Center, NBA Finals. Would I pay $500 to do standing room only? Honest to God, I mean, dude, I think I'd rather take that $500 and spend it on a bunch of ribs and stuff at Costco and have a bunch of people over and enjoy it with friends. But if I was a cajillionaire, and you're right, and basically paying $5-10 grand to sit first couple rows was the equivalent of like $400-500, yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, I would. The problem though, Chris, is that I don't want to say I'm unique when it comes to this stuff, but I think I'm a little bit different than the average bear, because part of me, and I felt this way for playoff games and play-in games, like, I also don't have the best time at these games. I don't do well in stressful Kings situations, sitting in a chair and staying in the same spot. I need to pace. I need to move around. I need to. That's why every single picture ever taken of me at a game involves me eating something, because I am a nervous eater. I have to eat. I have to munch. $500 to stand. Well, I guess kind of now. I mean, I want to extend the series. I was rooting for the Knicks anyways, but man, well, all that's coming up tonight. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's get into the actual series itself and some of the stuff we have around the NBA before we get to what to watch. And guarantee you this much, whether you're watching, you're paying that $500-$400, whatever, for standing room only. Yeah, dude, the energy at MSG is going to be off the chain. Like the energy here is off the chain, as the kids say. No cap. When talking about my friends in American Energy, because people go, oh my God. Oh my God. You're telling me I can get I can get a tune-up for $24.50 to either confirm that I'm going to be good all summer, or to tell me that I need to do a couple of things so that I'm good all summer, or to warn me before the thing conks out in the middle of summer that I need to do some work. I need a replacement. Nobody wants to hear that they need to replace a heating or air conditioning unit. Nobody wakes up in the morning and goes, you know what I'd like to do today? I'd like to spend a bunch of money replacing my air conditioning or heating unit. Nobody does that. I don't think anybody's ever done that in the history of the world, but it happens. So if it's going to happen and you do need to do that, might I respectfully suggest American Energy, where you can get up to $3,500 in rebates on qualified systems, where you know you're going to get the best deal around, and you're going to be serviced by a company that has an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. A+. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break. When we come back, more on the Knicks and the Pacers in just 30 seconds.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Now look, I'm going to break this down. This game tonight, Pacers Knicks. I don't know if anybody around here has heard, but Tyrese Halliburton has had himself quite the series. 35, 15, and 12. The most amazing part about that, no turnovers. And no turnovers in that game specifically. Forget it's Tyrese Halliburton, because I know we've been talking about that a lot. Just like, honestly, that's pretty crazy. 32, 15, and 12 without a turnover. It's the first 30, 15, 10 game in the postseason with no turnovers since they started tracking them in the 70s. And now the Pacers are sitting on 3 opportunities. 3 opportunities to get to the NBA Finals. The only other time they've played for an NBA title was in 2000 when they lost to the Lakers. They're 11-3 in the postseason. They've lost, weirdly enough, all 3 game 3s. Other than that, they haven't. Those are their only losses. They're 11-0 in the postseason in games that aren't game 3s. The NBA record for wins in one postseason is 8 on the road, 8 straight road wins. The Pacers are 2 away from that. They have won 6 straight road games. And we've talked about it before. I know it seems like kind of, I don't know. They're the 4 seed. They're the 4 seed. You know, should they? They're kind of the Cinderella team, and I get it. They're not Cleveland. They're not Boston. But dude, they were 36-28 March 11th. They finished on a 14-4 run. 14-4 run. Now add this in. What is that? 25. They have won 25 of their last 30 games. $25 of their last 30. That's not a fluke. That's not a Cinderella story. That's being really, really, really good. Sometimes that happens with teams. It could be a health thing. It could be something that clicked in the locker room or on the floor. But they've absolutely outplayed, outmuscled, outfought, whatever you want to call it, the Knicks. So if they lose tonight, it's going to be their first road loss in 6 games in the playoffs. And it's going to be the first time in the playoffs they've lost outside of a game 3. That's really, really impressive. And to be honest with you, with all the talk, again, let's assume if they don't win tonight, they win over the next 2 games. With all the talk of, oh, it's going to be boring. Oklahoma City, Indiana, nobody cares. I don't know, man. Now, look, maybe starting tomorrow if the Pacers win tonight, certainly next week when the series is wrapped up, Jason and I and Chris will talk about this at length. I disagree, dude. I honestly disagree. I think, look, this series might suck. There's no way around it. It might. It could be a 4-0 sweep either way, fine. But going into it, there's a lot of storylines. First off, you have the Pacers, who have never won an NBA championship and haven't even been to the finals in 25 years. You have the Thunder, who have never won an NBA championship. I'm not talking about the Sonics. I'm talking about the Thunder. And haven't been to the finals since the days of Kevin Durant. You got 2 small markets led by 2 next-generation stars. First off, the reigning MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And a guy that is really coming into his own, and we don't need to, love more on Tyrese Halliburton. But if you say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a charismatic, you can't say that about Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, you think Tyrese Halliburton's not going to say or do something, whatever, that isn't going to make headlines, that isn't going to pump this series up a bit? You have an incredibly physical defensive team in Oklahoma City, and you have a team in Indiana that is not going to get punked. They're not going to they might lose. They're not going to let themselves get punked. You have all kinds, and you have a bunch of players. In fact, I don't know, I haven't checked the complete rosters to see if anyone's been in an NBA Finals. Nothing jumps out at me. So you've got a bunch of players that have never been this far. 2 fairly young teams. One's the youngest team in the NBA. There is so much potential for pressure-filled, back and forth. I won't say fights, but certainly malarkey and hullabaloo. And you also have 2 really good teams. Now, I think Oklahoma City is going to be, and they are the heavy favorite to win the championship. That's true. But I would say this: I think Indiana was the heavy favorite to not even be in the Eastern Conference Finals. And let's remember something. People talk about Indiana, and that's the big knock that they've had during these playoffs. Like, oh, well, they played Alex Caruso. Thank you, Danny. Alex Caruso went with the Lakers. There you go. Where was I? I was talking about, Indiana. The big knock on them in the postseason has been they've been playing all these. Oh, they played Milwaukee without Dame. They played the Cavs and they were all banged up. I don't think Dame makes a difference in that. I don't think Dame changes the outcome of the series. I'm sure he'd make a difference. You guys think they win? You guys think Milwaukee beats Indiana if they have Dame? I don't think so. How come you're not hearing the same thing about the Knicks when Jason Tatum went down? Like, what are we doing? That's kind of a big injury. Like, things happen. Injuries happen. It's the postseason. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as a famous Sacramento philosopher said once. So you have these two teams going at it that, by the way, are relatively healthy now. As healthy, they're about as healthy as you can be for this point of the season and this deep in the playoffs. I think there's a lot of storylines. I think it really honestly comes down to it. And we throw the word casual around publicly like it's, and I make this speech all the time because I know a lot of people tune in and tune out and maybe haven't heard me say this before. I don't think casual is a pejorative. I think casual is 80 to 90% of basketball fans that casually watch, they root for their team, and when their team is not in it, they lose most or all of their interest. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's actually more wrong with being a psychotic basketball obsessive like me and a lot of you listening right now. Because if you're listening to sports radio at 9:24 on a Thursday, odds are you're an obsessive. But I would say this: I think the people saying that this is going to be a bad series are either basketball casuals that shockingly don't know the depths of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Indiana Pacers, or they're network people. Like, one of my favorite things, and I say favorite like my wife says, I think it's funny when you, like, it's not one of my favorite, but seeing these weird arguments online where just a regular old Joe person on Twitter who's a fan of, whoever team they're a fan of, that are like literally upset. They're saying, oh, the ratings on these finals ratings are going to suck. Why do fans care so much about, are you related to Adam Silver? Is an owner one of your parents? Why do regular fans care so much about ratings? Like how you rank your finals. I don't want to be a hypocrite. Look, when the Kings were in there, and it's kind of nice to say, the Kings were involved in the highest rated the highest rated playoff series in the first round. Well, that's cool. It's nice. But it's not the end all be all, dude. Why do fans care about ratings? If the ratings go down because Boston or LA aren't in it, then let them. Isn't that better for everyone else?
Yeah, it's not a TV show. Like, the reason why they're in the finals is because they earned a shot at the finals.
Right, like they're going to get canceled after the pilot just aired. We'll take a break. Ratings, who cares? Guarantee you turn on ESPN today, you're going to see that segment 5 times. And we'll probably talk about it tomorrow when we come back.
Definitely.
What to watch tonight, baseball wise, obviously basketball wise, and a couple other things to get to before we get to crosstalk with Alan Stiles and celebrity birthdays to wrap up the show. We'll do all that next.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay is my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it to keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take a boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-902-5454. 800-902-5454.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6814. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6814. 800-575-6814. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Carmichael Dave here. Father's Day, June 15th. And Timber Creek just handed you the perfect gift idea. Now through Father's Day, when you stop by the pro shop, it's buy 2 dozen, get 1 free on select Srixon golf balls. Yeah, Z-Star, Q-Star, Soft Deal, all the good stuff. So whether you're shopping for dad, or let's be honest, you are the dad, this is your sign to stock up and get back out there. Best part, you're doing it at Sacramento's top-rated course, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines. Deal ends Father's Day, June 15th. Go get them.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right. Alan Stiles coming up in just minutes as we do a little crosstalk, little celebrity birthdays. I got a tweet from somebody, and it, sometimes it makes me think, because I have trouble saying words sometimes, that I gave a wrong impression way earlier in the program. We were talking about the California Classic, how it's going to be at Chase Center this year. It won't be here. Obviously, a lot of people are upset. Why? I don't know about a lot of people. Some people are upset about that. Hoop heads, as somebody said on the chat, hoop heads just want hoop, and to see any form of Kings play is always fun in the dreaded off season. It's a mirage in the desert of no basketball, especially no Kings basketball. So, the good news is that, or the bad news is nothing this year. They're not doing the games at Chase Center, but starting next year, they'll alternate. So next year, it's all going to be at Gold One Center with the Kings and other teams. I would assume the Warriors, and I mean the Heat have been in it every year, but who knows? Way too early. And if you're gonna if you're not gonna participate in a year, as I said earlier, it would be this year because they, at least as of now, they don't have a first round draft pick. And you know, it's if they were going to play this year, as I was told, that they'd have to get a sixth team because you can't have an odd number of teams. So, you know, if the decision was made, if somebody's going to sit out, Kings are getting the tournament next year. They don't have the pick. They can focus on Vegas. So, you know, if I gave the impression that like they fell asleep and somehow woke up and you know, the teams were announced, that's my bad. That's not what I was trying to say. It was now, if you disagree with that decision, if you say, hey, look, I would have rather driven there and watched the G Leaguers or anybody at Summer League, or why isn't Devin Garnett? Those are all totally valid. I'm not trying to convince you of anything one way or the other, but I do want to make sure that I'm communicating it correctly. That it was like, look, we're going to get it all next year. And there was an odd number of teams. So you got Miami and San Antonio flying in, I assume, the Lakers visiting from down there. We don't have a pick. We rather, you know, punt and focus on Summer League. So we're going to do that. And then we'll be back next year, probably with a first round pick, I would imagine. Don't know what the future holds, but they'll be hosting it and good to go. So if you're bothered about that, I just want to make sure you're bothered for the right reasons. And ultimately, man, it is what it is. Pascal Siakam's another guy that won a championship. Thank you, guys. So Alex Caruso and Pascal Siakam, thanks to the listeners for telling me, for reminding me, both have finals experience. I don't know if they're the only two, but it sounds like they are. From the 916, if Tiger Woods came in second in a tournament, he would say he was the first loser. Also, isn't that Ricky Bobby from Talladega?
No, Ricky Bobby is, if you're not first, you're last.
That's what it is. Sorry. So it's not time to anoint Halliburton as the savior unless he wins a title. Look, that's a sports bar conversation. I don't buy into that, dude.
I mean, if he's so good, he should be able to win a championship, right?
I guess, but also if the Oklahoma City, he is 20% of the people on the floor at any time. 80% of the players on the floor for the Pacers. Anytime he's on the floor, 80% of the players are players that are not Tyrese Halliburton. That's why I've always had a problem with that. Now you can counter and say, well, LeBron James led, you know, a bunch of milkmen to a title.
You know, LeBron James led a bunch of milkmen to a title.
But I will say this: I don't think anybody's saying Tyrese Halliburton is LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And if they are, it's weird. Look, here's all we need to know. Okay. Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers, led by Tyrese Halliburton, are bucking all expectations and are about to be likely in the NBA Finals. And he has been an all-NBA player all 3 years he's been in Indiana. Let's not try to, as far as saviors go, this or that, I don't know. I just know that I would give my left you-know-what for my team to switch places with the Pacers right now. And so would you. So that to me is all that matters. from the chat line. Terrible quote. Last place is literally the first loser. Also, the first one to find out they've lost all chance to be number one. Last place be the first loser or the last loser? If you're not first, you're last. That's what Ricky Bobby said. We just went over that. Baseball tonight. Not a ton of games. The Athletics are in Canada, taking on the Blue Jays. Do you know the Blue Jays, Chris, are the only team named after an actual bird in Toronto?
Interesting.
Maybe that's the Orioles.
Now the Orioles are the only mascot that actually has a Baltimore Oriole. Is that what it is?
No, I thought we were talking about how there's actually a Baltimore Oriole.
Yes.
Like an actual bird that's called the Baltimore Oriole. I don't think there's a bird called a Toronto Blue Jay. I don't think. Let me see here. Have we ever dug into that? Why are
I think we did.
Called the, I know we did with the Orioles. I'm saying, why are they the Blue Jays? Is that something? The Toronto Blue Jays name originates from a combination of factors. A name the team contest. There's a bird of the same name, and the team's association with the color blue, which is a traditional color for many Toronto sports teams. Okay, well, yeah, I get that. Like the Toronto Maple Leafs are blue. I don't think the Toronto Raptors are blue, right? They're like, aren't they purple and something? In
Good thing that vote was held earlier because you would have gotten a lot of joke votes.
Oh, it would have been Teamy McTeamface. It 100% would have been the Toronto Teamy McTeamfaces. The new Toronto franchise was purchased for $7 million. See, you didn't think you'd get this history today. It was named the Toronto Blue Jays following a contest that attracted over 4,000 suggestions. That's a Twitter poll we do on who would you rather have, Tyrese Halliburton or Luka Doncic. We would get 4,000 votes on my Twitter page. They got 4,000 votes. Oh, or maybe it's 4,000 suggestions, like 4,000 different suggestions. Okay, that's a different story. The name reflected Toronto's tradition of using blue in team colors and was influenced by majority owner Labatt Brewery's flagship beer, Labatt Blue. Interesting. Well, then why aren't the Raptors blue? That doesn't make sense. Because also, right? What the hell is a Blue Jay for a team name? I'm a Blue Jay. Look out. Here come the Blue Jays. I don't know what a Blue Jay sounds like. Isn't a Blue Jay one of those that goes like, like one of them birds? Honest to God, that's a stiff for a two-time World Series champion. It's kind of a stupid name. I mean, their colors are awesome. Toronto Blue Jays. Also coming up tonight, as we talked about all day, the New York Knicks favored by 4.5. Was that 5.5 earlier? Pacers, Knicks. Knicks actually won one more game this year during the regular season than the Pacers. It says tickets as low as $301 now. Uh-oh. Nope. Tickets as low. I can get in right now. The last ticket in the West Balcony, $319. Jesus. Standing room only for $289. Well, now we're talking. I could sit lower bowl section 117 it's one ticket available for $1,173 in row 22. If you want to sit in row 10 at MSG tonight, and by the way, 117 is center court, lower bowl, but center court. You can sit in row 10 for $2,300. If you want to sit near the floor, starts at 6,300. I'm talking about the closest to the floor. And let's see, floor 11, row 1. Now, sometimes they fool you here, guys, because they say row 1, but it's not exactly courtside. $10,922, including $2,831 in fees. We should have started a ticket business, dude. From the 510 Toronto Beer Jays, with the bird jacked on roids, holding a Labatt Blue in one hand and a bat in the other would be sweet. I'm not going to lie. That's a great idea. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll cross talk with Alan Stiles. We'll wrap up the show with celebrity birthdays and more. It's coming up right after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes! There's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey, yeah. Jason Ross on vacation. He will be back. See, this angle's actually a little better. Alan in there now. He'll be back on Monday. Alan Stiles stretching, doing his calisthenics, doing his pre-show workouts, getting ready to take you 4 hours all the way till 2. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning.
Got to hit the button, buddy.
I did hit the button.
Oh, it's Chris's fault. Wow, throwing him under the bus already.
Trying to help you out.
I hit the button.
Do?
Hey, can I say something?
Oh God. Okay. Can I just say before you say something triggers me? It's very much like when I just used this example when my wife says, you know what's funny? And it always ends up with something I did wrong. Is that where we're going?
No. This isn't about you, Dave, surprisingly.
Thank God. Wow. Well, then I'm not interested.
Surprisingly.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
real quick. So, you know, we're in the toe, we're in Natomas, right? And I don't know what type of houses or how you would identify these houses.
Suburbs.
But they're the houses where they're all in a row, but then the back they're like back streets with a bunch of garages, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah, houses
Yeah.
like that.
I know what you're talking about.
And I'm in a house like that, so it's a bunch of garages next to ours. So we're just hanging out. It's about 7:00, but it's still light out. We're hanging out, we're just watching TV, and we're just hearing some banging. We're hearing some bang. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because all the houses are pretty close together. You could hear a car door sometimes.
When you say, just to be clear for the audience, when you say you're hearing some banging,
yeah, like
would you be specific?
Not like having some fun bang.
Okay.
Like thumping, like thuds, right?
Gotcha.
And I'm like, it's that against my garage, right? So I can see my area, the garage area from upstairs without having to go outside. So like, let me go take a look. I go take a look. About 2 high school age kids kicking a soccer ball. Dave, it's pretty thin there, right? It's a pretty thin area. So I don't want to be the grumpy old guy that says, hey, can you not do that? But this other house has a Porsche outside the garage. And as I walk upstairs, I literally see them smoke a garage. So now I'm like, okay, so my garage has been smoked like at least 2 or 3 times. So I decide, all right, I have to go down. And I open, as soon as I'm opening the garage, I hear another bang. Open the garage, and it's a boy and a girl. And the girl says, sorry, he keeps hitting your garage. And I say, I didn't know what to say, Dave. I just said, okay, well, don't dent it, right? I didn't want to be a jerk. So then I go back to my wife and I say, hey, I don't know, they're high schoolers, and you just do something until someone tells you to stop. And she says, I don't know, Alan, you're 15, 16 years old. You should kind of know better. Who's right? Do you think this is just being a wily high schooler, or should they have known better?
Did they live next door?
Maybe.
Well, that's an important part of the conversation.
Yes.
Okay, so they're neighbors.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just thinking, I know, and here's the kicker, though. Where they started kicking the ball, it's in front of their garage. Because I know that their pops would be like, what the hell are you doing? So their garage isn't getting smoked, but everybody else's is.
So they're neighbors. You got that. And then what time of day was this?
It was 7, but it was still light out.
Okay.
And and somebody saying on the Sack Chat, yeah, there are about 12 parks within a 0.5 mile radius. And you're 16. You're not a middle schooler.
All right. So couple things here. Number one, they're neighbors, so that complicates things. Number 2, they're high school kids that are doing something, positive and healthy, and you got all that. Number 3, you don't want to be the old guy. Hey, I look, but also it's annoying sounding. And I think the big thing here is the parks, but whatever. But also the big thing here is they have their own garage to kick it against.
Right. Well, they weren't trying. They were kicking the ball back and forth, but they were giving it a good go, and they would hit it. They weren't just banging it. You know what I mean? They weren't just hitting our garage. They were trying to essentially play catch with the soccer ball, play kick. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, but why not do that in front of their own garage?
Yeah, I agree.
I think the proper thing to do, Alan, for all sides would go down, and when they say that, sorry, he keeps hitting your garage, which, by the way, there was an apology.
Right.
Is just to say, look, that's fine. But unless you want to feel like that garage door, you won't do it again.
You sound like my dad. Because I asked him about it too. Wow.
Say, look, just so you know, I can't touch you guys because you're minors, obviously, and I don't want to go to jail. But every single time you hit my garage, I can't punch a kid, but I can punch your dad.
What?
So unless you want to see your dad getting pieced up, I suggest you move it along.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Now this was round, hopefully it's the last time I said, hey, just don't dent it. That's a cool, hey, don't dent it. Okay, cool. Because when she said, he keeps hitting your garage. All right. Can you not? Right?
I know that we have, we got to get celebrity birthdays here. I will say this, Alan. We have on the court we live on, we have one of them outdoor basketball hoops. Mm-hmm. And sometimes a couple of the 12 kids that live across the street from us in the one house, they'll come over and they'll shoot on the hoop. Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest with you, it kind of bothers me. And it bothered me a lot at first because I'm like, dude, get your own hoop. Like, what are you shooting on my kid's hoop for? How about get dad to, I don't know, maybe dad should stop having 11 kids and maybe invest in a hoop. But then it ended up being like, you know what, dude, they're kids and I'd rather them be doing that than sniffing paint or listening to their Dan Fogelberg records or whatever kids do these days.
Do they ask you or did they just do it?
No, they just did it. They didn't ask.
That is a good one. I don't know what I would do. That's a tough one.
That I let it go. It still kind of annoys me, but it's like, God, they see a hoop, they want to shoot on it. Yeah. They're kids. So I think it's wrong and we're right to be annoyed, but also it's like, they're not killing anyone.
But now there's a dent in my garage, and what do we do now?
You dent their dad's face, Alan. Be a man. Are you going to defend your family in your garage, or are you just going to sit there and take it? I mean, do whatever you want.
Okay. Thanks for the.
Go out there in your lime green highlighter shirt and say stop.
Or you have on the lime green today.
I do. That's what the joke was. Celebrity birthdays are brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Hey kids, stop banging on my garage. Here's a crumble cookie. Back to you.
Happy birthday today to Noel Gallagher, one of Dave's favorite songwriters.
Yeah, puts his hands behind his back and sings into the mic like a weirdo. Oh, okay. Oh, Noel's a smart one. Noel Gallagher is 53.
55.
Alan's closer, 58. Happy birthday today to LaToya Jackson.
Jesus. LaToya's got to be 71.
She older than Janet?
Yes, she is older than Janet.
It's Janet.
It's Miss Jackson, by the way, if you're nasty.
Yeah, well, I just watched her at the AMAs. She was great. If she's older, then I'm going to say she's 73.
Dave is closer. She is 69 today.
Nice.
Happy birthday today to Carmelo Anthony.
Mello,
19 years old when he led Syracuse to the championship, but I can't remember the year, so I'm going to say Carmelo Anthony is 46.
Really? 45.
He is 41. Last one, Sacramento King. Markelle Fultz's birthday's today.
Bring him back.
Markelle Fultz.
Quickly.
I know, sorry. Markelle Fultz is 27.
I think Dave got it. 28.
We do have a correct answer. Carmichael Dave, 27 years old. Markelle Fultz.
Janet Jackson is 59 years old. 4 Kelly Brothers. 4 Sam Amick. And for all of you listening, thank you so much. Alan Stiles has got you covered over the next 4 hours. Please do enjoy him and keep it locked into Sacktown Sports all day long. Bye now.
On the move, got somewhere to be.